That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat.
Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your favorite Armchair GM, CJ. Okay. It's I was about to say New Year's Eve. It is draft night eve. Okay. It is the night before the NFL draft. We have been waiting for this moment since the end of the season. Okay. And it's here, y'all. It's almost here. We've done mock draft after mock draft. We have speculated. We have argued. Twitter has been in a blaze. You know, why did you want to pick this person? You don't know football. You're stupid. Why do you want to pick this person? Why do you not want to pick this person? So it has been a lot of back and forth. You know, a lot of a lot of debates. A lot of good podcasts out here. A lot of great people doing mock drafts. A shout out to all the analysts and stuff that put out their big boards. Edgar Salmingo from Twitter, Ricky Raines, they put together a great downloadable, kind of like a Panthers draft guide. So shout out to all of them guys, out there doing this stuff. But we here, y'all. Okay, we are here. It's almost that time. It is draft night eve. Let me know how everybody is feeling out there. And we can go ahead and get this thing started. But before we do, I want to say again, thank you, and shout out to all of the front office members. Okay, shout out to everybody who is a member. I appreciate the love and support. It will not go to waste. All your memberships will go to make the channel better. Okay, and I just appreciate everybody for being a front office member. And also, again, big shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory, the other live, for gifting. I want to say it was like 30 memberships. Okay, 30 memberships. So thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. I appreciate you, and thank you to all of the other front office members. All right, this has been kind of not a good week for me putting out some stuff. I'll get to that later, but there will be some more content coming out for the members. So thank you. All right, and if y'all saw the thumbnail, I want this to be kind of an open panel tonight. So, if you ain't got nothing to do, you're sitting around, you grab your mic, come up here and join me, and we'll get to talking about some of these topics. Only thing I ask is, y'all been watching me since Two Fans in the Stands. Y'all know how I roll. We can debate the topic, don't argue with each other. Not a whole lot of excessive, cussing and this and that and the third, because I ain't trying to hear all that. But, I would love for some of y'all to come up and join me. And I am going to put the link in the chat if you would like to do so. Okay. Again, and thank you for everybody that has joined. And if you haven't, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free. If you want to become a member, 99 cents a month. Again, it will go to making the channel better. All right. And, and we have some things in store. Okay. But let me get to a couple comments here. Right. Hey, and let me tell you, shout out to Tip Jura Will off the gate. Sent me $5 super chat before I went live. Thank you, Will. I appreciate you as always, big dog. He said, I will not catch you live tonight. It's draft eve. Keep pounding. Yes, keep pounding, Will, man. I greatly appreciate you. And thank you for the $5 super chat. All right. Nella, my dear wife. Say good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? All right. Cardi said at this point, put 50 names in, and he said sigh. 9 dime all the time, man. How you doing, big dog? What's going on with you? Okay, here we go. He said, at this point, put 50 names in the hat and draw one. That's our pick. Got you. Got you. It feels that way. It really feels that way. Now, and it's crazy. Me personally, in my weird thought process, that wouldn't be a bad idea. As long as it was 50 names that could help the Panthers, not just 50 random names from the whole pool of draft picks. You know what I mean? But if we can guarantee it's 50 players that Panthers were like, okay, we'd be good with either one of these, I'll be down with that. Like I said, in my own weird way. Cha one, what's going on, man? How you doing? Salute to you too, my brother. All right. Douglas, what's going on, Doug? Mr. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, you got me on that one. You got Mr. Cleveland Brand. Okay, I got you, Doug. That's a good one. That's a good one, my friend. Mr. Cleveland Brand and Panther Nation, what's going on? We have one sleep and the fun starts tomorrow. Make sure to hit that like button now, chat. Yes, thank you, y'all. Y'all in the chat, if you hadn't hit the like button, please hit it. Oh, Doug, let me tell you. Oh, yeah. Oh, I owe you one for that, but that's a good one, though. I appreciate it. That's a good one. Chaos Gaming, what's going on? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. Doing good. Car says, I named it the front office, and I was like, who's CJ in the front? Who's CJ No in the front office? Oh man, hey, let me tell you, the car, that was a great name, dog. That was a great name. When you said that, I couldn't do nothing, but I was like, yeah, I got to use that one. I got to use that one. Marcos Cash, what's going on with you? How you doing? Glad you joined. Glad you joined. And of course, my wife said that is a terrible idea. Like I said, in my own weird way, if I could guarantee, maybe not 50, okay, say 15. If we could put 15 names in the hat, but it's 15 names that we know the Panthers are targeting and somebody to come in and help us, yeah, scrambling around there, pick out of head, I wouldn't have no problem with that. All right. She said, in my defense, he is working hard this weekend and worked right through his appointment time. Yes, I did the other day. I did the other day. I worked right through my appointment time and forgot all about going to the damn barbershop. But yes, everybody, I have an appointment at 9:15 in the morning. All right, and this will be gone. I'm getting the shave and the whole 9 yards. Okay, the whole 9 yards. So thank you. And again, my wife says no, but I got you. Hey, and shout out to Doug, man. Okay, thank you, Doug. What's up, Doug has gifted 10 Carolina Armchair GM CJ memberships. So thank you. So thank you to all the people that are now members. Welcome to the front office. Okay. Like I said in the last live, I'm going to try my best to make sure I do enough to keep y'all around so you will want to sign up for another month. Okay. But I appreciate you, Doug. Thank you. And to all the people, thank you. I'm sorry. Welcome to the front office. All right. Appreciate you, Doug. You my dude, man. Even though you call me Cleveland Brown, you my dude. I appreciate you, dog. Nikai said we all going to show up to the bar shop. Oh, you know what? you know, oh my God. Okay. All right. Doug in the car. Yeah. Oh yeah. I owe y'all. I owe y'all. T Thompson, what's going on, man? How you doing? Now, of course, she gets a good laugh out of that one. B Amos, what's going on? Yeah, big money, Doug. Yeah, yes, sir. I appreciate him though. James Bobo, what's going on? If they pick a wide receiver with the 8th pick, I'm gonna go help with the demolition for the remodel. Okay, I got you. Hey, appreciate you joining. But yeah, man. But like I said, the link is in the chat. If anybody wants to pull up and join me tonight, got a few things to talk about, and then we will get into our final mock draft. And it's gonna be my final mock draft. Here on a live. I'll probably do about 4 or 5 more of them tomorrow. I may post them on Twitter. Post them on a post on YouTube here. But yeah, so I'll do some more, but this will be my last one on the live. And the crazy thing is, I was talking to Doug earlier, and for those of you who have done mock drafts and use PFF, you notice that as the off season progresses, okay, the mock draft kind of goes through cycles. You'll get about a month of certain players will typically always be at a certain position in the draft. Okay. Like Ted McMillan, this last cycle was always available at number 8. You know, he wouldn't slip past like probably number 12 or 13 or something like that. I did one earlier today, which I'll show y'all here in a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, Tet fell. I think he fell down to like the late first round. I even seen somebody said that he might be a potential target for the Bucks. Okay. Now, mind you, I do not want that to happen, but hey, if we don't pick him, that'll be out of our control. So yeah. But let's see. Doug said, I know this would I'm guessing he meant pep you up for the live, so make sure it's fire show tonight. So I'm gonna be in the chat. I got you, Doug. I got you. Even though you said peep, I got you. House Nicholas, what's going on? Said, what's good with you, CJ? Appreciate all your hard work. Hope your cousin is doing well. Miss your family bond. Yes, I talked to Tony earlier. I talked to him for about 2 hours, and Tony is doing good. And I told him if for some reason he finds, because where he's at, it's I think like 4 a.m. I told him, I said, if he just happens to find himself up at 4 a.m, I told him, I said, hop on the computer and join me. Okay. But yes, Tony is doing good. I talked to him earlier, and I will send my love from him to all of y'all too as well. So yes, Tony is doing good. Thank you for asking, Nicholas. I appreciate that. The car said, I actually think this trade back thing is a way to take an offensive player without them feeling guilty about it. Okay. All right. And we're going to get into that a little bit too. We're going to get into a little bit too. So the biscuit, what's going on? I like Emanwari still. Yeah. And you know what? And that's another one. He has been up and down in that first round of the draft. But today, I think I got all the way to pick, I want to say to pick 57, and he was still there. So we'll see. But like I said, PFF, I always say y'all about PFF. You either hate it, you love it, or it's just, yeah. So, yep. On the card says, use the stick to the model. Let me see, stick to the model mock draft for one of the drafts. No one uses it, and it's actually really good. I want if that's the one we use for FPFO's mock draft challenge. I think that's the one. I'm not sure. Okay. I might not use it tonight, but I'll try that tomorrow. Okay. I got you. I'll try that tomorrow. Let me see. He said, house what? Just joking. Panther Boy 803, what's going on with you? How you doing? Yeah, it does say fat fingers, my bad. I got you. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. And I know I had this same slide up on the last live, but I had Dan's picture, over there on the right-hand side of it. Okay. But I want to get everybody's opinion, and there is a poll in the chat. Okay. Will the Panthers pick at number 8 or trade back? All right. And right now it's at 83% trade back and 17% pick at number 8. And I asked that because I was listening to some other podcasts, and I was thinking to myself as well, is there anybody at number 8 that we think will be there that's we absolutely have to have them for the success of this team? Is there, okay, so just say this for shits and giggles, all right? Travis Hunter gone, Abdul Carter gone. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else y'all think would be there that's like, we have to stay at number 8? This person is going to be that generational talent, that franchise player, that player that's going to turn this whole situation around and get us going on the right track, because we have been literally off the rails for 7, 8, 9+ seasons. Okay. And that's why I put this slide up here. Like, y'all let me know in the chat, is there any one particular player y'all see in this draft besides the Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter? Okay. Because I think them two, especially Abdul Carter. Now, Travis Hunter, Heisman winner, would love to have him. He's probably going to be gone, but is there anybody else out of them two that will fall to number 8? And y'all like, okay, we've got to stay here and we've got to draft this dude. Okay. And let me Let me get back into the comments here. Panther Boy says, I like Mike Green and Donovan Ezraku for the trade back. And the thing is with Donovan Ezraku, you know, I sit up here and I say we need pass rush. We need somebody to get to the quarterback. We need pressure on the quarterback. And you know, you got Jalen Walker up here. He can get pressure on the quarterback. He can play off ball linebacker. But Donovan Ezraku gets to the quarterback. He had 16, or if I'm not mistaken, 16 and a half sacks this past season at Boston College. I mean, just if you want production and you want numbers, him and say like a Mike Green. I think Mike Green also has 16 sacks this year as well, if I'm not mistaken. You know, so players like that, you know, like I said, you know, for a trade back, I think that would be perfect. I wouldn't have any problems with, you know, an edge rusher, a cornerback, hell, a safety. Yeah, those three. A linebacker in the first round, I don't think that's going to happen. It'll probably be a second round pick. Me personally, if I was to do it, a second round pick, maybe a third round or something. But yeah, but cornerback, defensive line, and that's, you know, edge rusher, interior defensive line, whatever. Safety, I would have no problem with any of them as being our first round pick. Okay, appreciate that, Panther Boy. Steven Bell. Hey, what's going on, Steven? Man, let me tell you. Hey, Steven is my dude. Steven tags me in damn near every X post that he has. And you know, he's asking questions about this, that, and the third. And I just want to say, Steven, I appreciate you. I've had fun with your posts and answering them, you know, to the best of my abilities, you know, to what, you know, I think is my answer for your questions. But I appreciate you tagging me in your post, man. You've been tagging me with a lot of people that, you know, I really do like watching on you know, as Panther content creators, and do admire. So thank you. I really appreciate that, man. I just want to tell you that. Thank you, Steve. Again, yes, as my beautiful wife says, please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. Thank you, Nelly. All right. The car said, if you didn't know anything about the draft prospects, you would not know who the offensive player is on this on this slide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you got Jalen Walker, Ezraku, Will Johnson, and Ted McMillan up there in the top right. Yep. Okay. And so Poppin, what's going on, Poppin? Shout out to Poppin, everybody over there at Black Cat Panther Podcast. And he's answering my question. Is there any generational talent that will be there at number 8 that you can say, we have to take this player now, we cannot pass him? And Poppin says no. All right. And I do agree with you on that one, Poppin. I do agree. All right, 9 dime all the time. Trade back and get a pick. And Don E from Boston. Yes, Don Ezraku. And like I said, I wouldn't be mad at that at all whatsoever. At all. And I don't think that his run block grade, if I'm not mistaken, was not bad at all either. So we'll see about that one. And I'm gonna get back to your question, but again, Doug, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh no, cousin Skeeter. Oh, that's a. Oh, let me tell you, Doug. Now we old, dog. You call me cousin Skeeter. Hey, I'll take that one though. Cousin Skeeter was my show. Last one, ready to see this live draft, but put this towards the. Oh, you know what? Put this towards the haircut GoFundMe. God almighty. Okay. All right. I got you, Doug. I got you. I'm going to tell my barber tomorrow. This is from Mr. What's Up, Doug. Hey, well, thank you for the $15 super chat. I greatly appreciate you, Doug. I greatly appreciate you. Oh, God. That don't call me cousin Skeeter. I'm going to get him. Oh, let me tell you. I owe you a couple night, Doug. I swear. Um, the card says Luke Kuechly. Sorry, that was a while ago. He will not be there at number 8. All right. Chaos Gaming says Graham would be the closest. Okay, there's a lot of talk going around that Mason Graham will more than likely be there at number 8. Okay, because they think that the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken, the Jaguars might go. They might take Ted if I remember that right. The Jaguars might be leaning away from taking Mason Graham because he has gone to them in a lot of my mock drafts that I've done before today. Okay, and I'm trying to think. I don't know if he was there at 8. I didn't go back and see the draft, but I did do a trade, which you'll see in a little bit. And but yeah, but I did another one before that, but didn't really go all the way through with it because I messed something up. And I do believe Mason Graham was there in that earlier mock draft that I did. But yeah, but now okay. Now, Mason Graham, I would not mind the Panthers picking up Mason Graham. And I think Steven said this on X earlier today. If he is there, would you take him or would you take somebody else? And I was like, you know what? Oh, it was take Mason Graham or Jalen Walker. All right. I like Jalen Walker, but let me tell you, I would take Mason Graham. And I'm gonna give you one reason. Because as of right now, the depth that we have at nose tackle is Shy Tuttle. Okay. I always say this when I talk about Shy Tuttle. I do not think he is a bad player. I think he is a player that is in the complete wrong position in this system. Okay. The complete wrong position. But that still does not take away from the fact that our depth at defensive tackle, at nose tackle, is Shy Tuttle. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna say. If Mason Graham is there, hey, I'm all for taking Mason Graham. All right. Now I know I'll tell you, Mason Graham. T. Thompson says, I'll take one trade back to GP, please. GP. I'm having a brain fart there. Yeah, let me know what GP is, and I probably should already know that. Nick Cooley says Mason Graham. Blackfire, to be honest, I don't think there are any true elite players in this draft. Okay. All right. I got you. T. Thompson says, trade, I'll take one trade back to go, please. Got you. Okay, T. Thompson, got you. Poppin says, Donovan is my pick. And I'm not mad at you, Poppin. I'm not mad at you at all whatsoever. At all. Not mad at that at all. Like I said, we want somebody who put up numbers in college. Hey, look at his numbers. He got to the quarterback. He has the moves to get to the quarterback and get the quarterback on the ground. So I would not be mad at that, because you have a lot of these guys like a like a Jalen Walker, and then you have what's my man named Jared Ivey and people like that. They have them up here and they're like, oh well, they got good size, don't have good speed, have to work on their moves and be able to bend to get around, offensive tackles, to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. Sometimes it gets plays because of excellent play by the rest of the defense, this, that, and the third. But like I said, Ezra Raku, if he's sitting right, if they trade back and he's sitting right there and they pick him, I'm a happy camper. All right. Blackfire says Jalen Walker at 8. Got you. Panther Boy says, so Luther Burden in the first round. I mean, hey, you know what? Like I said, I don't see Carolina taking a wide receiver in the first round. But I mean, if he's the pick, hey, welcome to Carolina, and I'm gonna be rooting for him from day one. So we'll see. All right. House Nicholas says, breaking news. Bryce Young has a new girlfriend. They were seeing last night. It's Mrs. Tepper. Oh my God. Why did I read that? That is funny though. That is funny. Hey, let me tell you, we gonna get to David Tepper. We're gonna get to David Tepper in a minute. Cause let me tell you, that man was quietly working his way off the hot seat, and I promise you, he stuck his arm out and slapped his ass right back on that hot seat earlier today. But we'll talk about that in a little bit too. All right. Nella laugh. Palmetto Money, what's going on? Glad you could join. Said Graham or possibly Warren or Ted, if any of them are generational talents. But I'm going to say no trade back is probably the best play. Okay. All right. I got you. The card says there ain't been a show mentioned up here that I CJ that CJ ain't like. I watch a lot of TV, dog. Hey, sue me, okay? But it's funny because I remember all the shows that Doug is talking about. Oh, hey, shout out to Steve. What's going on with Steve, man? Thank you for joining me, and thank you for the $10 super chat. He says I pray for a trade back. Okay, I got you, Steve. I got you. I'm not mad at you either. I'm not mad at you for that one. And the thing is with a trade back is, okay, you trade back and you can acquire more picks. And for me, my thinking of this, you acquire more picks for 2 reasons. All right. One, if you get in a better position than the original pick you already had, say like we have 57 in the second round, just say you're able to get up in the 40s. All right. There is a certain player there that you wouldn't have got at 57. You're able to get up with that too. But just say you got that second round pick and you were able to get another fourth or a fifth or a sixth or something. Okay. Dan Morgan is the type of GM. I don't see them sitting pat all night long and just be like, hey, we're going to just pick at each pick that we have. They're going to do some trades. So if if you can improve your position in one round, pick up some picks in later rounds, you still have more ammo in the clip, to be able to make some trades later on in the draft. Because we get so caught up on first round, second round, third round, which, excuse me, it is rightfully so. Okay, because in those rounds, you want to be able to get starters. Okay, you want to bring in people that say, okay, cool, they're going to come in here, they're going to be able to contribute right away. Right away. All right. But as we have seen, there have been some instances where we had some good players, come in later rounds. Think about Josh Norman out of Coastal Carolina. Josh Norman was a fifth round pick. Okay. And he came in here, and by God, he was drafted. He was drafted into the right system. Okay. The absolute right system. They took advantage of all of his skill set and what he could do good on the field. And Josh Norman turned into a hell of a player until the Panthers wouldn't pay him. And then he went to Washington, and you haven't really heard much from him since. Unless you think about when Derrick Henry stiff armed him to Barbados. Okay, so yeah. But again, Steve, thank you for the $5 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. And Steven, hey, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you, dog. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, man, thank you for tagging me on those X posts, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And let me get back to some more of the comments here. Let me see. All right, SC Pace, what's going on? I think we try to trade back, but if we can't, I think we go Walker. Okay, I can agree to that. I can agree to that. But if Mason Graham is there, take Mason Graham. Okay, take Mason Graham. He said from One Piece to Cousin Skeeter. And I know I keep getting off subject. Man, let me tell you, I watched probably a season and a half of One Piece, and then I went to look and see how much more of it was. I was like, dog, I couldn't do it in the car. I couldn't do it. That show has about 4,000 episodes. And I think I was like on episode 60 something. I was out. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. He does say, I can't talk, so I have to play the chat. Graham not a nose though, but Graham can play the nose. Okay. I think they can put Graham at the zero tech in certain situations, certain lineups. All right. And you pair that with a Bobby Brown the third, who also can play the zero tech. But if you go back and look at some of his highlights, he was moved around on that defensive line as well. Every single snap that he had wasn't at nose tackle, at the zero tech over the center. Okay. But like I said, at this point right now, I would rather have a Mason Graham or, what's my man name? Was it Walter Nolan, somebody like that, as a backup to Bobby Brown than Shy Tuttle. But I got you in the car. I got you. Vietnam, what's going on? Do you feel that Walker, if drafted at 8, would be that generational talent we need on defense? If so, then we draft him bad or good. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Would and I'm sorry, my camera went out of focus here. But would Evero put him in the right positions? Would he put him in the right position to be successful? The right situations. Okay. And I don't have much trust in that. I don't have much trust in that just yet. So we'll see. And I hope my darn camera will focus here, because I usually take it out of autofocus, and this is why. So hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me. Oh goodness, where is my autofocus? All right, there we go. Okay. All right, that's better, because I'm not gonna lie, that shit was blurry and had me sitting here looking like, ugh. Okay. But yeah, but I got you, Vietnam. I don't know if I would say that he was generational. But that's my opinion now. He could get in here and he might be. You never know. When it's all said and done, I just hope Evero can get the talent, especially on defense, to be able to, get what we saw out of that Denver defense a few years ago. Okay. What we saw out of the Rams defense when he was a part of that staff. All right, some years ago too. So we'll see. That's my ultimate goal. That's my hope. We can get the players in here on defense, and he can put them in the right situations, the right schemes, the right formats, and they can go out there and ball out. But as of this moment, I'm not 100% sold on that right now. All right, if that makes any sense. Now says Tuttle won't make the team this year. You know what? Now I kind of agree with you, but that would be some dirty work, dog. That would be some dirty work to let that man take a pay cut and then cut him. Excuse me. That would be dirty work by the Panthers. That would be some. But football, it's a grown man's game. Dealing with hey, it's just like any other job people have out here. At any point in time, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you can be gone. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he's definitely going to be, but yeah, I would feel a little bad for him if they cut him. But and at the same time, I get up here every time and say, our depth is Shy Tuttle, and that's a problem. So yeah, all right. Doug says right now I'm all for trading back in the teens, going after Donovan E or Walter Nolan. I got you. All right. GP is the glove carry pay. GP, are you with me? There's some older folks remember that. Gary Payton, I got you. Black Fire says we have the worst depth at linebacker, defensive end, and defensive tackle. 2 of our starting outside linebackers will be gone next year. Okay, now mind you, if Clowney doesn't have like a all-world beating season, this year, he probably will be gone. The jury for me is still out on DJ Owanum. Okay, I'm hoping that a fresh start and a healthy season for him will be good. Okay. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's terrible. But like I said, last year he came in hurt. He didn't get into what 2/3 of the season was done. And it was we were garbage juice. It was just bad. It was downhill from the absolute start. From the first snap of the season, the first defensive drive and the first offensive snap, it just went down until we were able to kind of level out the ship. And I'm not saying, I think our trajectory started going up a little bit, not anything like this, but it started to level out and started to creep and, creeping up ever so slightly, in the right direction. And as bad as the first part of the season went, I'll take that. But you are right. We do have, we do have depth problems. Now you say that at linebacker. Okay. Now this is my thing here too. I'm gonna ask y'all this. So, who at linebacker in this draft, would y'all like? Would y'all want the Panthers to take a linebacker, say second or third round? You got my man Carson. I hope I'm saying this right. Schwessinger, from UCLA. What's my man named Demetrius Knight from South Carolina. Or do you think, because now we have Josie Jewell, all right, we have Christian Roseboom, we have Trevin Wallace and Jacoby Wyndham. I hope I'm saying his last name Wyndham. Those are the 4 that are inside linebackers right now. And if everything holds suit from previous seasons, we're probably only going to keep 4 of those linebackers, 4 of those inside linebackers. Do you bring in somebody else to kind of, compete? Probably so with Jacoby, because he got in there late last season, didn't break the bank, didn't just go in there and just wreck shop and just cause chaos all over the place. But he filled in, solidly in the last 2 games of the season. Or do you add somebody in the draft? And for me, I personally would probably either add somebody later in the draft, maybe pick somebody up in as undrafted free agent, or maybe they might not be done adding linebackers. But my thing is, you bring in the Christian Roseboom, and the jury's still out for me. He had 100 something tackles, last year for the Rams. But is that going to translate over to the Carolina Panthers in 2025? We don't know yet. All right. I've seen some depth charts, especially ESPN, where they already have him coming in and being ahead of Trevin Wallace on the depth chart. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. Me personally, I don't think so right now, but we'll see. We'll see. Steven says Shy Tucker needed to contribute to the practice squad. He can pretend to be our opponent's interior defensive lineman during practice for the upcoming games throughout the season. Okay. All right. I got you, Steven. The card says if they are both on the board at 57, would you rather have John Wick or John Q? I'm sorry, Denzel. Give me John Wick all day, every day. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John Q. Give me John Wick all day, dog. John Wick. I love them movies. Every time they come, I can sit there and watch them all day long. Palmetto Money says, what up with the Lions who might consider trading Jameson Wilson? We will get into that in a couple slides. All right, we'll get into that. Let me see. Black Fire says, I doubt we draft 9 players, but after the first round, the Panthers will be aggressive. I agree. Hey, and shout out to Steve, man. Thank you for becoming a member of the front office, big dog. I appreciate you. I will put your membership to good use and make this channel grow and be a place where we can all talk shit and have fun. All right. But thank you, Steven. I appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. All right. He said, I must join the front office. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let me see. He said, all right. Now, he said, get right. Don't have me push the button, sir. Hey, let me tell you, come on up, Doug. Come on up. I don't even remember what I said to make you say that. Now I know says Carter and Graham are the defensive blue chip players. Okay, I got you. Panther Boy said, I definitely hope Tuttle is gone. All right. SC Pace, I will take Walker. Hopefully, Evero's peanut M&M bag. Looking here, ask those how to use him correctly. You know what? And I think sometimes I find myself thinking about Jeremy Chin. And I'm just like, we had a player who was versatile, but it's just like Evero refused to put him in. Now you also got to remember we did have Frankie Louvu. And Frankie Louvu was kind of in that same mold. He can play off ball linebacker and he can come rush off the edge as well. And Louvu was damn good at it for us that one season. Well, the last season that he was here. Okay. But, and I ain't mad at him. He wanted to go and play in Dan Quinn's defense up in Washington with the Commodores. So, I ain't mad at him at all. I ain't mad at him at all for that. But, my thing is, like I said, and the thing is, I know I'm talking a lot of junk about Evero, but we also got to realize this too. We can say we want about Evero. Evero did not. He did not have a loaded gun. His clip was 3/4 empty the entire season. Okay, and the one time when the clip was full, and again, and this is why sometimes I do have my issues with him, because the one time the clip was full, we got waxed the first game of the season by the Saints in New Orleans. Okay. Now, like I said, for the rest of the season, that clip was, 3/4 in half, and then it was only like a quarter, like a quarter left. So he was working, with what he had, what the Panthers would bring in. But like I said, still it gives me, kind of pause when I think about Evero. It's just like, when we had everybody out there, we still got our ass whooped. And I mean, we got beat bad. I mean, bad. And I know a lot of people will, a lot of people won't blame the defense. A lot of people will blame the offense. Blame who you want to. Alvin Kamara ran all over us. Derek Carr threw all over us. And it was a bad day down in New Orleans. All right. He said, we got a Kurt Franklin reference tonight, top tier show. And then Doug said, stomp. And the boy says, Carson is a good one too, CJ. I got you. PPP, what's going on with you, dog? Hey man, you the boss, dog. You the boss. All right. And again, let me scroll back through here. If anybody wants to come up here and join, I pinned the link to join me in the chat here just now. Okay. Let me see. Said nope, he ain't good enough for that. Graham ain't it for Carolina at all. Okay, I got you, Panther boy. I got you. Yeah, we know, Doug. We know. Nader, what's going on with you? Said we should trade down twice. It's a defensive draft. That's the first time I've heard anybody say trade down twice. Okay. What you thinking about, Nader? A situation maybe where, say, we trade back to like number shit 12 or 13, and then say if somebody from like in the 20s comes calling and they're like, hey, we want to trade up and we want to get with you, whatnot, something like that. Or maybe definitely not trading out of the first round. Let me tell you, I will throw my remote through the wall if the Panthers trade out of the first round. But yeah, but let me know if that's what you're saying. Maybe like a double trade, but still stay in the first round. And let me tell you, I'm pretty sure the Panthers could probably stack up, quite a few picks, And Prime, I see you backstage, man. Just holler at me when you're ready, big dog, and I'll bring you up. Let me see. You stopped that line now, Ricky Bob. You can't believe you preaching that blasphemy. Send me my offering back. What are you talking about, Doug? What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Doug? Look, if you want your donation back, come up here on the stage and get it. Now I don't said teens. That's it. I got you. Oh, Evero. Hey, I mean, like I said, I don't think anybody can sit up here and say that he had a just a stacked defense. Okay, I got you, Brown. We can't sit here and say he just had a stacked defense, and and it was just all his fault coaching. Okay. But at the same time, you can say when we had a full healthy defense, it didn't look good, but then it did go downhill from there, and injuries started piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up. All right. But welcome, PPP, Pastor Prime. How you doing,
Hello.
sir?
I'm doing
What's going on
wonderful.
with you?
How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Someone asked you in the chat earlier about the different Johns, right? John H.
Uh
John, all this other stuff. But
huh.
I mean, you forgot the other John.
Which one?
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Oh my God. Hey, them kids running you ragged, ain't they?
I come with the shenanigans, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay,
Yeah,
now
man.
before we move on, and thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Before we move on,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts at in the first round of the draft? What would be your ideal situation for the Panthers?
My ideal situation is to not overthink it. If your guy's there, your guy's there. At 8.
Okay.
And I believe that guy is at the top left right there. Jalen Walker, Jalen
Okay.
Julius Caesar Walker.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah. I think that's the guy. I mean, the one thing about this draft that I always tell people, if you're picking between 1 and 15, you don't have the luxury to pick luxury. You need to pick what your
Mm-hmm.
need is, and
Okay.
stop playing around. So for the Carolina Panthers, that need to me is definitely a defensive player, and here's the reason why. When you look at the linebacker position here in Carolina, we only have one that's really on, that's really on contract for a long term situation, which is Wallace.
Yeah.
Outside of Josie Jewell and whatever that dude's name is, Rokewood, whatever his name is, Roseboom. I mean, that's really it. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to not. And when I say this, people are gonna say, "Well, PPP, he needs to be inserted instantly." Well, he will be. He
Mm-hmm.
he will be. I mean, everything points to Dan Morgan wanting to make the line of scrimmage on the defensive side a force to be reckoned with. So I think Jalen Walker is definitely the pick. That's my thoughts.
Okay. All right. I got you. Now, do you think that I'm gonna pose this to you. Do you
hmm
think we could trade back? I know we probably couldn't trade back far. Do you think we could trade back a couple spots, possibly pick up another pick somewhere and still be able to draft a Jalen Walker?
No more than 13, 14. No more
Okay.
than that. And I think 13, 14 might be pushing it. I saw a report today that Chicago might be interested in moving up, somewhere. I would love to get my 39th pick back from Chicago.
Boy, I saw that too earlier. I said, run. Look, hey, I said, run me back, DJ Moore and my damn draft pick. I
Right,
said, give me
right.
all of it back.
Yeah, yeah. You can have that eighth pick. I don't want it.
Hey,
You gonna give
you
me
have
DJ
it.
more than that 39? Shoot.
Let me tell you, run me DJ Moore and 39. It's a bet. Let me tell you,
Hey,
I
hey,
would I would run from here to Charlotte on whatever freeway with that pick in my hand, trucking, dog, trucking. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
telling
seventy
you,
seven with no socks on. I got you.
bruh. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I turned that card in so fast, so
Yeah.
fast. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Uh-huh.
yo, that's why. Okay, but yeah. Now let me ask you this, Prime, while I got you here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we got Jalen Walker. Okay. He can play off ball linebacker. He can rush the quarterback. Okay. So do you value that potential diversity in his game more than say like on the screen here we got Donovan Ezraku, who is like a pass rush specialist,
Yeah.
or you got say Will Johnson, who
Mm-hmm.
is a lockdown corner, potentially the best cornerback, in this draft.
Yeah.
Does Jalen Walker being able to play off ball linebacker and edge, does that stand out to you more than picking somebody that's like, okay, they do this one thing great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take advantage of this one thing instead of trying to put them in multiple spots, but take advantage of, like Jalen Walker and his skill set.
Yeah, yeah, I actually like Donovan Ezraku. I like Will Johnson. I like Ted, but when it comes down to Jalen Walker specifically, I love
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you can line them up just about anywhere on that line, and he's going to come away with a positive play for the defense.
Okay.
I've seen this guy line up in front of the center. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen him go against the guard. I've seen him go against the tackle. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen him win at every position or every spot that he was at on that line. So for me personally, I love what he brings to a team that's trying to be physical up front. You know, I think what Dan Morgan is trying to do, he's trying to make you get off your spot as a quarterback early. Like you're going to have to you're going to have to be quick when you play Carolina's defense this year. It ain't no
Mm-hmm.
sit back in the pocket for 7 seconds and run out like Mahomes. You know,
Baker Mayfield.
Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield. You know, with
Yeah.
30 seconds left on the clock with Mayfield and Charlotte, ain't gonna be none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be none of that because you got Trevon Morig, and you got him. I call them the heat-seeking missiles. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to happen, and I think that that's something that was very was talked about in extent this year. Like just the
Mm-hmm.
games that kind of dwindled away, you know, and kind of got away from us in the last second because we could not corral the quarterback. That ain't happening this year, and I think everything that they've done from free agency points to that. I like Donovan Ezraku, and I like a guy that can just do one thing, but when you have
Mm-hmm.
a guy that can line up anywhere, you know, and affect the quarterback, I think that that you know they're better suited for what they're trying to do multiple wise than just a Donovan Ezraku or just getting Will Johnson. Now, if we didn't have a second cornerback in Mike Jackson, I probably would have been like, yeah, yeah, Will Johnson
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but I'm like. Ain't no need to go ahead and spend the eighth pick on no cornerback because we pretty straight there, and you know
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind Tet.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen Walker ain't there, and we had to get Tet. I mean, hey, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But Jalen Walker's
Okay.
my guy, man. Yeah.
I feel. And now Doug posed a question here. He says, "All right, I got one for you, fellas. The kid on the block for the Panthers is Walter Nolan. If you have a choice, which one you taking? Walker versus Nolan? What you got, PPP?
Oh, I'm
Well,
taking
never mind. Yeah, never mind. I know you taking Walker.
I'm taking JW. JW.
JW.
JW.
Hey, now you know what? Now in this situation, okay, I'm taking Walter Nolan. All right,
Why?
because man, now there are still good edge rushers that we can get later on in the draft in the second round.
That's
Okay,
true.
so it's not and that's why I say defensive interior, edge rusher, cornerback, safety. I wouldn't mind either any of those in the first round. But
Hmm.
my thing is, we've got what was the worst part of our defense? Stopping the run. We got to get somebody in the stuff. Like I said, we have Shy Tuttle as our backup nose tackle right now.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
I would take any effort to improve that. Okay. And then you get Nolan in here, and he wouldn't be just necessarily a backup. Walter Nolan is going to be in the rotation. You might have a set where it's Derek Brown, Walter Nolan, and Bobby Brown the third lined up for an offensive line. Okay. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? That might be a problem. Okay. I pray the good Lord it is a problem for whoever is lining up in front of that. All right.
Walter
But
Nolan's
my
three tech,
thing,
right?
um, man, I don't know. I ain't gonna say I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay,
You know,
okay.
but but yeah, I would like that front. And my thing is, you know, just think about, now I'm not saying that we don't draft the edge rusher,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but just think about just think about offensive, I'm sorry, defensive line as an old metal pail, okay, and the interior of that metal pail was rusted just out. It was holes all in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, if we can shore up and we can put a new bottom in that rusted pail and get the bottom of that pail with the whole water again, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we can sit there and we have our defensive, and just say this, okay? Not saying that we don't draft a defensive edge rusher or anything else, but maybe a Jadavian Clowney, a DJ Wanham, Pat Jones that we got,
Mm-hmm.
Tershawn Wharton, if he lines up anywhere other than in the down defensive lineman, you know, if we get to where we can stop that run, does that make what we have now be able to be better at getting at the quarterback? Okay, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
not saying that we don't need to upgrade the edge rusher position, but if we start with that defensive line, me personally, I think that does help out the current pass rushers that we have now on the roster, and we can be able to add on to them later on in the draft. Like I said, because my thing is, a defensive lineman is not the end of the world for me being drafted in the first round for the Panthers. So,
Well, you know what, man? There's another Walker that I love, probably in the third and fourth round at edge. He's up there in Central Arkansas.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. DW. Yeah,
DW David
yeah.
Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, a Bear. Yeah, Central Arkansas. I like him a
Yeah.
lot. And
Okay.
I wouldn't mind picking him up. You got Princely. You have
Hmm.
who's another one down there around that third, fourth, fifth round. Um, Golly, what's his name? Oh
Oh, because
man,
I'm sitting there thinking of everybody that I've picked, but maybe a Ashton what's
Aston
his name,
Gillette.
Gillette from
Yeah,
Louisville. Yeah, I keep
yeah, he's
saying
another
Gillette like the
one.
razor, but I'm like, it don't sound like that.
Yeah, hey, hey, just do it like Unc. Just make a name up for him.
Hey, let me tell you, I can't do that. I'll be like, Ashton from Louisville. Y'all know what I'm talking about,
Hey,
boy.
I was listening to Unc the other day. He called Kevin Winston Kevin Winslow. I said, yeah, Kevin Winslow. That's right.
Wow.
So man, just call him whatever you want to call him. He know his name. But I like any one of those guys, man. Now when it comes now, remember we also got this guy, who I believe is a bona fide nose, but I think he can play three tech as well. You have Cameron Jackson from Florida. He was on the 30 visit here in Carolina,
Mm,
and he may be a late round acquisition. I call him Mister Lay Down. All he got to do is lay down. That's 380 pounds of straight up man.
oh.
Oh, am I
Okay, there
back?
we
Am I
go.
good?
Brian, you went out for a second, or did I
Yeah.
go out?
No,
Okay.
it probably was me. Shout
Hey,
out to
you back now?
Spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 380 pounds of all men. And I mean that'd be good right there on the line. So, um, I think that there's complementary pieces every single where in this draft. I mean, even those who want Tyler Warren, look at Harold Fanning. Harold Fanning, 1,555 yards, multiple games with 100 yards passing. I mean, yet God in a sense, man. I mean, like he's a better
Hmm.
option to me than a Tyler Warren. But name speaks a lot about the name is everything to people. I look at the production and what you're really going to be truly doing inside the NFL when you get here. Tyler Warren ain't
Yeah.
lining up at no center. Tyler Warren, and to me, ain't gonna be used in no in no backfield and no wishbone type. That ain't happening. You know.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I feel you. Okay, I feel you. All right. Well, cool. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. And this one, something I saw on X, and it's kind of I labeled it. You know what? Hold on. Let me see. Just I just can't let Tyler Warren go. Yeah, do love Tyler Warren, boy. I swear he
love
do.
him, boy.
Uh,
I can't wait till that dude go early, man.
he gonna have a complete meltdown. Uh, Now in all the times, see you seen that kid DK wide receiver from Florida, not bad for a late round receiver. DK, you might spell his whole name out for me. Remember who he is. But speaking of Florida, you was talking about Cam Jackson prime. Now I've
Yeah.
seen him jump up PFF's draft board a lot because
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to take him in the 7th round in every draft,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been taking him in the like probably some of our high 5th round picks,
Yeah.
somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
the 5th round. And like you
Yep.
said, he did have an official visit too. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, Dust says, let me give you another name at Panthers Prime Podcast. Go check out tight end from Syracuse, Gadsden, or Conyers from Texas Tech. We gotta to watch Conyers at Shrine Bowl practice.
Okay.
Okay. And I saw him and Luke Lachey from Iowa. And I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie, you know how it is with Iowa and they tight ends, but I swear,
Oh,
Luke Lachey
Laporta. Yeah.
yeah, but Luke Lachey has kind of been right where he's been at through this entire process.
Okay.
He hasn't budged not much at all. But yeah, I mean, now mind you, and I'm gonna say this. I think we straight at tight end, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I like Trimble, okay? I like Sanders, and I like
Jordan
uh
Matthews.
Jordan Matthews, and oh goodness, who else I'm thinking about? Trimble, Sanders, Matthews, and God, there's somebody else that's on the
Ian
roster right now.
Thomas.
No, hell no, man. Ian Thomas is he in Las Vegas, dog. Yeah,
I just
no,
want to see your reaction.
man, no, no. I hope Tony watching this, boy. He gonna kick his whole TV over talking about some Ian Thomas. Oh, Granger, that's it.
Yeah, the basketball
Granger,
player, right?
the basketball, because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not
I
gonna
definitely
lie.
intrigued.
I kind of looked at my phone and like gave it like a side eye when I saw it. I was like, okay, we'll see. Oh, Sullivan, yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yep.
we still have
Okay.
Sullivan?
You know what? Let me look it up real quick.
I didn't think we still had Sullivan. I don't think we got Sullivan anymore.
I don't think we do either. Um, Let me see.
I could be
Steven
wrong though.
Sullivan, tight end. Nah, I think he is. I think he's out in free agent limbo right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. But I ain't gonna lie. Steven Sullivan was a guy that I actually liked and wanted him to get more playing time when he was here. But yeah, I don't think he is anymore.
You
Okay.
know another guy wanting to get more playing time, man? Mike
Who that?
Strong.
Mike who?
Mike Strong, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Remember he caught that 49-yard pass in Chicago, week 10, first year with Bryce Young? It was like a play action rollout to the left side of the field, and he threw it
Mm.
like on a corner route to Mike Strong.
Strong.
It was the only deep
Strong.
pass in
Strong.
that game, and it's spelt like it could be striking, or it's a weird way how you pronounce his last name. It's like
Uh,
Strach, something like that, but they pronounce it
oh,
like Mike Strong. So I guess that's how you say it.
Strachan.
Yeah, something like
Yeah, I
that.
think I know you talking about. I think I know you talking about. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I think I know
I
you talking
liked
about
him a
now.
lot, man.
Okay, all right. All right, well,
Yeah.
cool beans. Okay. Now let's move on to this the next topic. And I kind of named it Would You Do It? Okay. And I saw this clip and I want to give everybody's thoughts. All right. So on the screen here, and I think this was a Giants Twitter account. I think somebody had posted it. And they're saying, so if you're the Giants, so if the Giants select Penn State pass rusher Abdul Carter, 3rd overall, they said, would you make this trade with the Panthers? And I know the ink is, I'm not sorry, the font is small on this. So the Panthers would get our eighth round draft pick, and I'm assuming that in the part of the deal that we would have to draft Shador Sanders. In return, the Panthers would get Kayvon Thibodeau, a 2025, the 34th pick in this year's draft, and a 2026 second round pick. Okay. Now, Prime, I'm gonna get your thoughts, but the only way I would do this is I'm trying to, I'm trying to get what Chicago got from us. Now mind you, I'm not a big fan of the Kayvon Thibodeau deal because he's entering, I think his fourth year of his rookie deal. So then you get into this whole fifth year option crap all over again. Whereas if we get our own defensive end in this draft, we got 4 years before we even got to think about that.
Mhm.
But that 34th pick looks real good. But I want your first round pick for next year. I want to get same kind of compensation, like Chicago got from us. Even though I wouldn't compare Kayvon Thibodeau and DJ Moore like that. I think DJ Moore would probably be a better value. But like I said, I highly doubt this would happen. But what do you think of this? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think that's hogwash.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hogwash.
Yeah, I don't, I would not do this at all. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I, I I think when you're doing that, you're chasing behind something.
Mm-hmm.
The draft, in my opinion, really starts at pick four, or maybe pick about around pick four. Is where the
Okay.
draft really starts at, in my opinion, because I believe, unless there's any trades, which there's been plenty of speculations that there will be, that we can probably count on maybe two, maybe three quarterbacks going early, possibly two for sure, maybe. But I believe.
Who's the third one?
Well,
Like a Jackson Dart.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen conversations about Dart. Shador. I think the stuff around Shador is kind of like just hatred towards his pops and the name or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Just whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that we may see a team that really needs him move up, and if that happens, uh,
Pittsburgh.
Pi- exactly, exactly. That's why I really believe that the draft really starts at pick four. Let's see what happens from pick four on down, to really, you know, make our determination if we're going to trade back or sit tight. I don't think there's no reason for us to move up. Like, what are we chasing?
Okay.
Moving up, you know.
Well, and I guess it's not really a move up per se. They get the pick, but we get a player, and then we get a which is what, the third pick in the second round. So technically it's not moving up, but I get you. I get you. But yeah, man. Now, but yeah, I just, my thing is, and a Kayvon Thibodeau, he had 11 and a half sacks 2023, and I think 5.5 this past year. So, me personally trading that pick, to get him as part of this deal is not enough for me to, like I said, I would want somebody other than Thibodeau, not necessarily from the Giants, but even if it was another team involved. And like I said, I want that second round pick, and I want next year's first round pick, because like I said, this is the eighth pick. You know what I
So hold
mean?
on. So in this thing right here, they want to stay at what, three? It
They Yeah,
didn't get
yes,
the eight.
yes,
Oh
yes.
man,
They
I'll
they
punch
going
in your
they
throat, man. I need your first. I need your second.
exactly,
I need your
yes,
mama's social
yes.
security number. I need your daddy's pension. I need all that. Yeah.
Yep. Doug said I would say Jacksonville because they have three options: Ted, Walker, or Genty. Okay, I got you. I got you. Panther Boy said, why didn't we keep Felipe Franks for special teams? I don't know. I don't
Because
know if it's a
Felipe Frank
situation.
is still dancing to this day. That's why. That brother is dancing right now. Just look outside. You're gonna see him dancing.
So he out there. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
oh, clown music. Yeah, yeah. What the?
Oh my God. He still celebrate his penalty from last season. Oh my God. Yo. I remember that shit.
Yeah, ran all into
Hey.
the end zone. Oh,
Hey,
I like this. I like this. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I like this.
hey, thank you to Cheshire Cat for the $10 super chat. Ephron Chisholm the third. I'm not gonna
No,
lie. Who is that, Prom?
no, sir. It is Efton
Efton.
Chisholm the Third. You got to say it like you
Oh,
from
gotcha.
yeah, Efton Chisholm the Third.
The
Okay, so
third.
let me tell you who this brother is. He's
Mm-hmm.
from Eastern. He's from Eastern Washington State. All right. Um, the same school, if I'm not mistaken, that what's his name? Who just went to Seattle? Wide receiver that everybody was raving
Uh,
over to
uh,
get.
Puka Nakua.
No, not him. Golly, what's his name? Lord, don't my mind going, Lord.
Well, he was drafted last year,
No, no,
or
no. He went from LA over to Seattle to Seattle. Golly, what's his name? Lord. I can't remember right now, but he's a good wide
oh,
receiver.
Cup.
Cup.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Cooper Cup. Gotcha.
He's a good wide receiver. I think he's going to be a good seventh round pick, man, or undrafted. This dude right here, we found him maybe like, or started looking at him probably like a month and a half ago, man. The dude
Mm-hmm.
has it. He can really be another Jalen Coker, bro. When you get opportunity, check him out, man. Efton
Okay.
Chisholm the third. Yep, he's real
All right.
cool too.
I got him pulled up here. 5'11", 201 from Eastern Washington. Okay, I got you.
Mhm.
All right, I'll do that because look, I got between now and tomorrow to look into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, and again, Cheshire Cat, thank you for the $10 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. Greatly, greatly, greatly. I thank you from the bottom of my little heart. I thank you. All right, but okay, so I think we got a resounding hell to the gnaw on this situation right here. Okay,
Hmm.
which I figured. All right, now we move on to another possible situation, and I bring this up because I keep seeing reports about the Lions shopping Jameson Williams around, and
Hmm.
of course every damn player in the NFL that is supposed to be shopping around, the Panthers are a trade target. Or they going to sign. I mean, every player. I guarantee you, if there was a signing for water boys or or equipment managers or parking lot attendants or guards at the front gate, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like everybody like, what? I'm thinking about going somewhere. Breaking news: the Panthers have decided to off to offer a security guard, Bobby Dillon the fourth, the spot at the whatever gate off Mint Street or
Yeah, a
Moorhead or
2 week,
whatever.
5 day contract.
Yeah, bruh. He works 5 days a week, gets the weekends off. Man, I'm just, yeah, it's like everybody. But this one
Yeah,
was kind
bro.
of interesting though. Okay, this is kind of interesting though. They got some. He played with him at Alabama.
Hmm.
Okay, and you think about this, all right? So this is what I did earlier. Okay. I did this, I posted it on X, and lo and behold, I answered comments all day about this. Did not think I would. I was just like, let me throw this out here. Cause in my mind, I'm like, they gonna talk cash, money, shit to me for even doing this. All right.
Hmm.
But what I did was, and I played around with it a little bit. And y'all listen to me, and this is my thought process. Okay, I know that you could probably give up a couple of later round picks, maybe to get Jameson Williams.
Hmm.
But at the same time, my whole thought process this entire off season is, and I've said this, y'all hear me say this a million times, probably hear me say it a million more. Well, until tomorrow. All right. But we pick at 8. We don't pick again till 57. If we doing trades, my top priority is trying to get another pick higher than 57 because there's going, in my opinion, there's going to be a lot of talent that's coming off the board between 8 and 57 that we could get. Now, mind you, in this situation, I really didn't do that at much at all. Okay. But I did get another pick in the second round, but it's actually after 57, so it's 60. All right. So what I was thinking is, I'm like, okay, cool. If we give up a later round pick and get him. I'm like, but we can still, even though they got pick 60, we can still make a trade and we could get another second round pick. Now, mind you, like I said, it's not higher than 57, but it's still another second round pick. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did here, I traded the 8th pick overall, and I got Jameson Williams, the 28th overall pick, and the 60th overall pick. And this is what I was saying, everybody earlier about how PFF, has gone through another cycle here right before the draft where players are, not in certain positions that they were, in the draft order, 2 days ago. Okay. So I took Walter Nolan, number 28. And I got Andrew Makuba, and I am always a fan of doubling up on the edge position in this draft. So I took Kyle Kennard and Josiah Stewart out of Michigan, and Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. Okay, I gotta say, slot cornerback probably in Jacob Parrish, another defensive interior lineman in Jamari Caldwell from Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna get back to Isaiah Bond. I picked Isaiah Bond, wide receiver from Texas. I got Jack Kaiser, linebacker out of Notre Dame. I went back to the cornerback well again. Got Zy Alexander from LSU, and I got Doug's man, Taj Brooks from Texas Tech. Okay, and like I said, I go back to Isaiah Bond. Now Isaiah Bond's speed is, like PFF says, it's his calling card. Okay, so we have a Ted McMillan. You got Higgins from Iowa State, a Jalen Royals, my man from Stanford. Was it Sal Moore? I forgot his name. And shout out to Rashad and David PMP, because I watched it last night, and Dave was saying, like, you think about some of these wide receivers, are most of these wide receivers, just kind of like excel in a sense. And I know a lot of y'all might be like, well, CJ, what the hell are you talking about? When I got to start thinking about it, I'm like, they're around the same size. Okay. XL can go up and get passes, and he can run decent routes. The thing is, he's got to work on his hands. And the thing is, he didn't have just an egregious number of drop passes last year. But the ones that he had was just like, ooh, that was the wrong pass to drop. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has the speed, he has the size, he has I would say he has a lot more speed than some of these people that we like Panther Nations want to get, like a Ted McMillan. Don't know about Jaden Higgins because I got to go back and look at his see what he ran in the 40 and whatnot. But but yeah, when I say go back to Isaiah Bond, say maybe another person I've drafted before, Jalen Noel out of Iowa State, in like the second round, maybe in the third round if he's still there. Do you want to get another? And I'm posing this question to you, PvP. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to get another bigger receiver, who's supposed to be come in and be like an instant, like a better route runner and whatnot? Or do we need, somebody who's like a shifty, speedy guy, can line up all over the field and potentially take the top off the defense and could possibly open up some certain situations and routes for some of his teammates? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I would go with the second option that you brought up. Quick,
Mm-hmm.
shifty, take the top off. Excel is beyond a shadow of a doubt going to be our guy going forward. All right, he has the
Okay.
fifth year option possibility. Adam
Mm-hmm.
Thielen is probably on his last year here in Carolina, unless we
Yeah.
do what I think we're going to do, which is make the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. He might come back, but
Okay.
I'm thinking that you go out there and you get someone shifty, someone quick. I've been looking at Tez. I've been looking at a couple different players. You don't have to necessarily be, six something. If you got a five something or whatever, someone that's quick, shifty, I'll take that.
Okay.
I want difference. I don't want two big, tall, receivers. Because we tried that one time before, and one of them kept eating and didn't stop eating.
Oh,
And
you Benjamin
yeah,
and
and Funches.
Funches, yes.
And- yeah,
You
and I
wrong,
still have.
Prime.
I'm just
You
saying,
wrong for that.
I haven't forgiven Funches for that Saints. I don't know what that was.
Mm,
Yeah, I still haven't forgiven him for that. And and,
gotcha.
and I'll and I'll never forgive Benjamin for all he's done. You know.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey man, I don't know what was with my man's mindset or what. And then it was like when he came back to Carolina, and then he looked at Cam, like they had some issues off the field or something. I was just like, well, like, but damn, what's up with that? But but we'll see.
The man was bugged out on toaster strudels, man. That's what it was. He was bugged out on the strawberries, man.
Hey, the fact that he's even eating toaster strudels is a crime in itself. Nasty ass toaster strudels, man. God almighty. Oh my God. Pop Tarts all the way, dog. It's Pop Tarts or nothing.
He was bugged
Oh
out, man.
God. Yo, he said toaster strudels.
He didn't put it in the oven. He put it in the microwave, man. It was a quick meal.
Hey, he put him in there for 6.5 seconds and like, I'm good.
It was still cold in the middle, man.
Oh my God, yo. Oh God. Hey, SCP said rumor is Benjamin works for Weight Watchers. Oh, y'all off of that. Oh, y'all wrong. Thus it. So I know it was a short clip, but seeing XL at OTAs practicing in full and hearing Bryce say he has been in the building all off season, I think we see different XL Eugene starts. I said this not the last live, the time
Hey,
before
hey,
that.
hey, I'm sorry, CJ. Just to let you know, your
You go.
mic do sound a little bit different right now. Just want to let you know that your mic sounds just a little bit different.
Okay. All right. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Um Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I don't want to mess up anything my buttons too much. So if y'all
Okay.
can if y'all can hear me in the chat,
We can still hear you.
I'm just okay. All right, I'm just gonna ride with it.
Okay.
But I said this about XL. I think everybody got caught up in seeing posts of him on social media outside riding dollar bill. Okay. And bear with me, Prime. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, just because everything you see on social media is him riding his horse, all right, or they talking about him eating raccoons, this and that and the third, or whatever, all right, that doesn't mean that is every aspect of his life. That is what he chooses to share
Right.
with the public.
Right.
Okay, that man might be grinding, and the stuff is you might see 4 or 5 days worth of posts from him outside riding his horse or doing whatever. All right. But that might be from one weekend that he spent down in South Carolina with his family and friends or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
you did not see what that man has done the rest of the week. He could have been up in Charlotte. Like Bryce said, he been in the building all season. And like Doug said, it was good to see him in that clip. It looked like that ankle was fine and he was moving good. He had
Yeah.
good takeoff. He turned around, went back. So we'll see. We'll see. But oh, excuse me. But yeah, man, like I said, I think everybody got really, really caught up, in that and just assume, well, all we see is him out here riding his horse and this, that, and the third. I mean, with the stuff I share, like on social media, all you think I do is I'm out here buying tools and planting grass and doing stuff in the yard,
Mm-hmm.
fixing crap. But I'm out here in the shed, putting in work, trying to make content.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
I don't post all of that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we bought this shed that we're in now, and we using it for what me and my wife are doing. But I didn't constantly put updates on it, this, that, and the third. When I was ready to come out here and do it, and it's for y'all to see it, I'm just like, hey, this is what I've been working on, blah 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 blah. And I say
Mm-hmm.
that to say, if Excel goes out there and he has his, he goes out there and he does what we want and think he will be able to do, and that's go out there and have a productive season. It's like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? That young man was doing what he was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, everybody does not share every aspect of their lives. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a part of his life that he does like, but just because you don't see him posting pictures of him going into the building, every day doing workouts or whatever, don't mean he's not out here trying to improve. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
Mm.
the one thing because even I made a little assumption to that. I was like, man, I don't
Uh
want to see you ride no horse all the time, man. But I mean, and that's very true. Because as a fan and someone that like us who we draw content from certain things. Like
oh.
it's always we're always looking like, man, like, okay, so what are our players doing? You know what I mean? It's off season now. We ain't make the playoffs. We didn't get that far or whatever, and it's like it's dry season in a sense for us right now. So when you see a player like XL, who we moved up to draft him into the first round, and
Mm.
you out there holding the squirrel by his neck, with his jacket off. And
Mm.
it just opens up conversations, man.
It does. You out there hunting coon with no shirt on. Like, come on, dog. Like
Yeah, no socks on, mud between your toes. Like, what are you doing, sir?
Hey, but hey, look, I ain't mad at him. If anybody ever watched a show called Swamp People, and, I'm from the country. I'm not as country as XL, but I always enjoy all those shows. And there was some brothers on there, one on pass, but they out there hunting gators and all kind of stuff and never wear any shoes. Like
Yeah,
never,
yeah,
never.
yeah.
So
They better
yeah,
check their temperature. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
You might
got you.
have might have a little cold, sir.
Yeah. Hey, and to get back to Chaos Game, that's the next slide. We're gonna talk about training camp. The next slide. No, Doug, no, that's not moonshiners. I'm talking about Glenn and his brother from Swamp People down there in Louisiana. All right, I got you. I got you. And what's going on, Mr. Earl? How you doing? And now I want to say he was hungry. Um, but yeah, but okay. But like I said, Jameson Williams has name been thrown around the last couple of days about Detroit shopping him around. And of course, like I said, the Panthers are always the first team, a possible trade target for the Panthers. This is interesting. This would be huge. Blah 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 blah. This, whatever. But I did try to do some sort of a mock draft depicting that, and I got a lot of comments on the post that agree with this, and I got a lot of comments that didn't agree, and and shout out to everybody on that post, because, and I will say this, if you ever respond to any kind of post that I have, I always like for people, if you disagree or agree, tell me why. Okay, because my thing is, I'm not trying to argue with anybody, but I always try to get everybody else's opinion. Like, don't just say hell no and disappear off into the sunset. Say hell no, but tell me why it's a hell no. But I got some good feedback today, and a lot of people did not like trading the eighth pick and going all the way down to 28th and picking up number 60. They were more in favor of getting Williams, okay, but trading some of our later round picks to acquire Williams. Okay, but like I said, it
Hmm.
was a good post, and like I said, I got a lot of feedback off of it, and I
That's
appreciate everybody.
good. That's good.
Yeah, a lot of feedback. But yeah, Chaos Gaming. Doug did have to call me and tell me about the about training camp. I was at work, and he said, "You hear the news?" And I'm like, "What news?" And let me tell you, that was not what I was expecting. I'm sitting there thinking like, "Oh crap, did we make another trade before the draft or something?" I'm like, "What's going on?" But okay, now to get into that, all right, no training camp for the fans in
Bum bum
2025.
bum.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, and also no training camp in 2026. And the picture you have on the screen is a picture from one of the lives that me and Tony did last year. In the off season, it was, I want to say, during training camp, right before the preseason started. So this is the proposed, but the field house, the covered indoor practice facility for the Panthers that's going to go out where training camp was at last year. And in PvP, I met you for the first time at training camp last year. Let me tell
Absolutely.
you, and it's for me, it's a bummer. I met Prime last year. I met Uncle Quan for the first time at training camp last year. Met Rashad and Dave for the first time last year. Ricky Raines, West Side, Fetty from Twitter, Monty, God, it was a lot of people that I met out there last year. Oh, the guys from Panthers on tap. I mean, just a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But it
I met
was
I met I met Dougie for the first time. Let me tell y'all, Doug is nothing but head and shoulders. All right, that's all I want to say. Yeah, he ain't nothing but head and shoulders. Yeah, you ever put like a shirt on a clothes hanger and you go back and look at it and you just see the hook on the, that's I was I was I was like, where does his food go at after you eat it? I mean, it's just
hey, Doug, let me tell you, I appreciate that prompt. Doug has been he been talking shit to me all night. That's a good one. That is and you know what? And you know how I know that's funny, Prime? Right here. Hey, my wife approves that message.
I said, look at this right
Oh my
here.
god, yo. Oh, okay.
That brother don't need shoulder pads.
You know, and crazy enough, that's the first time I met Doug too. Was training camp last year. You know, we had been working together stuff before that, but that was the first time I met him in person. You know, he came here and stayed at the house one night with me and the fam, and then we went to training camp that day. But yeah,
How's your doorways? I just,
you know,
I just,
I had to get the crowbar on and put him back into place, but you know, yeah, stop.
I'm just asking. Yeah, you need some renters. You need some
Oh,
homeowners insurance for that. I'm just.
look, now he talking about read the comments. I'm gonna get to the comments in a second, Doug. I'm gonna get to them. But okay, now my back to training camp, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of this for a couple reasons. Now it's not the end of the world. Okay, it's not the end of the world. But you know, for and prime for us content creators, you know, I had big plans for training camp. Okay.
Hmm.
And not nothing like, you know, some kind of major scale or nothing, but you know, big plans for me, you know, and my channel. I was going to try and use it as a way to, you know, hopefully get some of like the members out there, invite them to come out there, you know, hopefully get some tickets and give them out, meet me out there. You know, we can chat, maybe go get some drinks, you know, do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the most important thing, we get eyes on these players ourselves.
Hmm.
Okay. We can see everything. We can record it. Well, even though they don't want you to record a lot of stuff, but I mean, people do it anyway. But you get out there, we see this stuff with our own eyes, and we don't have to depend on reporters, even though we got some great reporters. Okay.
Yes, we
Carolina
do.
Blitz, Vash Top, Sheena Quick, you know, great reporters.
Hmm.
What's the man named Mike K from the
Mike
Observer?
K from the Observer.
Um,
Yep.
oh my God, and he, oh, I hope he don't get mad at me. My man from Charlotte, I keep forgetting his
Oh,
name.
you talking about
The
Oh
oh,
man,
called himself the one man show. Damn, I
the
forgot his
uh
name.
the man of the people, Chris.
Yes, Chris. Yes, from Charlotte Vibe. You know, some great people that you know go out there and report on what the Panthers are doing. But it's a different vibe when you can get out there and you can see the players and see what's going on. You know, for yourself.
Right.
And the thing is that you know, my personal opinion, it feels like you know they knew this before today. And I'm just like, you wait to the day before the draft
I
to
know.
say, I'm sorry everybody, but we're not going to be letting people at training camp because of the construction. Okay. And
Hmm.
my thing is, me and Tony were talking about this earlier. Okay. Now, if you look at this, it's a big shell. You know, it's got lights. It's not like it's got drywall inside and the seams have been plastered and they painted it and they hanging up picture frames and, you know, TV brackets and all this kind of crap. You know, they ain't running water lines through the walls and you know, all
None of
kind of
that.
stuff. Yeah, you know, it's a shell. You know, my thing is, I'm like, it's gonna take 2 years, you know, to build this. Now, mind you, there is that section over there off to the right of the screen where it's supposed to be like kind of almost like a kind of like a gantry way or whatever, like I guess fans can get up there and watch, things as well. On top of that, that right now is where I think it's where they keep the equipment at. That was off to the
Hmm.
side, you remember, from training camp, but they're gonna have some kind of like a some kind of like a breezeway that goes over that. And if you can see right there on the screen, let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. If you can see right here on the screen, you see this little bad boy right here. Okay, you see that right there. If I'm not mistaken, that does one of these numbers here. You can walk from here all the way down and be able to get, in and out of the practice building. Okay,
Okay.
so
Hmm.
you got that on there. But yeah, but I'm just like, 2025 and 2026. It's going to take 2 years to build this. All right,
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
talk to me.
There's a couple people to blame. Me and you. Because that French bulldog looking security guard snitched on us multiple times.
I remember you talking about. I know just who you talking about.
Yeah, I mean that brother was on us.
He
Pause, like white
was,
on
yeah.
rice. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If it is about the construction of it, that's understandable for 1 year. But I'm like, I mean, gosh, man, you guys knew exactly that once training camp was over, that we was gonna have to move on. And hold on, someone's knocking at my
Yes.
door. It's probably my baby boy. Hold on.
Okay, I got you. All right, but yeah, but I agree with Prime. They knew this was going to happen. I'm sure they have known this for a while. And I mentioned this to Doug earlier. Oh, he's saying Moonshiners is better. Okay, got you. All right, but I mentioned this to Doug earlier, and I was like, so was the relationship with Wofford severed in a way that it ain't no going back? Because I'm sure they have known long enough to be able to pick up the phone and call down to Spartanburg and be like, "Hey, fam, we know we moved it back to Charlotte, but hey, we need you because this is happening." And I get it. You don't want the fans to be around a construction site. All right. But my thing is, unless, the players are moving, unless they're moving all of training camp inside, I mean, the players will still be out there as well. All right. And I wanted to show everybody this next slide because, all right, now this is kind of a screenshot that I had here as well. All right. Now, if, let me pull up my whiteboard here again. All right. So if, and it's loading, I hope, yeah, okay, here we go. So if you see this now, this field up here is where the that new indoor building is going to go. All right,
Okay.
and and so last year, there was a lot that I parked in over here, and you came through security, you came down this sidewalk, came around, and right here. So right here was two people that
Oh, I see
constantly,
what you're saying now.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
where the
constant.
field is actually finished at, it's where we was
Mm-hmm.
walking down to.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Hmm.
So you had people that were sitting there constantly pestering you about being a PSL member. Then you had the team store right here. Okay. You had a like a concession stand or something with overpriced everything. Then there was a Bojangles set up right here, and then there was a fan zone back here in the back. All right. Now going all the way across this was a row of bleachers that Panthers fans that had like general admission tickets, because you had this side over here where, you went in and you were able to get, I think, up to 4 or 5 tickets per person. And that's where you sat at. Okay.
Just think
Now,
of it as people who had like 500 section tickets. That
mm,
was that section because I was over there. CJ was in the section. They was at the 100 section. They had
hey,
chips, dip, sauce, shrimps, and everything over there. I ain't have that.
Hey, let me tell you. So I was lucky enough. There was a few of our subscribers who were season ticket holders who sent us VIP tickets. Yes, I was over there. I took my wife with me one day. Let me tell you, we got over there And lo and behold, she found out they had mimosas over there. Oh, it was over. I ate so many damn Krispy Kreme donuts. I should be ashamed of myself. But yes, oh yes, it was on and popping over on the other side. And so now, mind you, you had the two fields right here. Okay, this is one, and this is the other. Y'all forgive my drawings here, but this was one, and this was two. Okay, and then the VIP, which was probably maybe not even half the size of this over here, sat right here. Okay, it sat like right there, and that's not to scale. Okay, but it sat right there, and you were able to kind of hang off the side of the little guardrail right there, and the players would come in from this way, from the stadium. All right. So the construction on that new practice facility is going to be going on, all over here. All right. Now, my thing is this, I'm just like, they knew this problem, and you were in the middle of saying something before you had to go. I don't know if you remember where you was at, but if you want to finish, go ahead.
Man, what was I saying? Oh, Tom, just training camp in itself. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that that we won't be able to actually see our players for the first time in what 20 something years, not being able to watch training
Yeah.
camp. It almost puts a sour taste in your mouth that we're not going to be at Walford. Um,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Yeah.
why not send them down to Walford? And let them, because right now the tradition of Panthers fans being able to be there is gone right now. Now, I'll tell you one
Yes.
thing: if they may have been saying, well, it's a lot, having to deal with the fans and stuff like that. Okay, well, y'all boys better come out and y'all better crush it this year because you ain't got no excuses, none. Cero para ti. My Spanish teacher
Thank
always
you.
tell me that zero for you. You got zero excuses. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so let's make it
You're right.
happen, man.
Yeah. Zero. But yeah, man, and it's like, and this is a chance for Panthers fans because I I never went to camp until the year before last. The year before last, the last year in Spartanburg was my first time going to training camp. 'Cause Spartanburg is an hour and a half from my house. And so me and Tony drove down there every day like that first week for camp. And
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 it
it
was
was a
hot out
it
there,
was a
wasn't it?
Oh, let me tell you, boy. Hey, I was about as black as this daggone jersey right here before we were done. But it was hot, but it was fun. It was hot, but it was a lot of fun, and it was an experience that I was like, okay, bet. And then when I heard it was coming to Charlotte, I said, okay, cool. Well, I feel sorry for Wofford, and all, but I'm not gonna be mad at driving, 10 to 15 minutes to get to the stadium, and then being able to go home, in 10 to 15 minutes, get all my clips and footage and things together, and potentially, get on here and go live and tell everybody what I saw literally an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. You
Right.
know, and you know what I mean? Instead of like you done in Wofford, we going to get something to eat. Then I got to put gas in the car. Then we got to drive an hour and a half back. Then we got to get back. And then we sitting there, we tired as hell, trying to wait to, for our skin to go back to the right color because we black as all night. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's but
I saw
yeah,
that picture of Tony. I said, "Good God Almighty, boy, Tony, like a burnt
yeah,
baked
hey,
potato." Yeah,
boy, yeah, we it was hot.
it
It,
was
it was
hot.
hot.
I know.
But I will say this now. Shout out to my pops, because my pops farmed growing up and he poured concrete. And I was out there working with him. So being out in the heat does not bother me that much. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, you get me out there and get the, running or doing some stuff. Now, yeah, I'm gonna be out of breath real quick. But just being outside in the heat doesn't, it's not an end all be all for me. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it was hot as hell out there.
It was
You know,
hot.
it
Yeah.
yeah, it was in the 90 somethings every day we went out there. It was hot.
Now I'm not
But
gonna lie. Training camp in Charlotte, it was actually pretty decent. Like the morning that I met you and we saw Quan
mhm.
together, man, it was pretty cool for that first, couple days of training camp. It ain't really get that hot out there, man.
Hey, hold on. I got those comment. And Doug said he say you and Ashawn Robinson are twins, Prime.
Well, you know, you know, that
Oh my God, yo.
that's his assumption, and I'd rather be A. Sean than be the man that can play football without any shoulder pads. So,
Oh my God,
you
yo,
know.
y'all were wild. Oh, but I can't lie from that Ashawn is funny. That's pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, at least he ain't say shot tunnel.
Oh,
Golly, please don't say
boy,
that.
hey, let me tell you, boy. Look, I go wherever Doug is at, bring him to you, and be like, apologize. But yeah, and the Poppin makes a comment. He says, I don't know why they can't host it at CPCC Stadium. It's right uptown.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it is. It's right on the other side of uptown. Um, I don't know what it is. And I did read something where they said something about the resources here in the Charlotte area, and it's better for them to be in the Charlotte area than to be down, in Spartanburg. Okay. But even still, though, if you know this is happening, and like I said, not every team has training camps that the fans can go to. The majority of the NFL does. There are some that don't, But the thing is, like, this is something that fans look forward to. And
Hmm.
since I went the first time, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Even now, since becoming a content creator, like before, I never went to training camp because it was just like, okay, well, cool, it's just whatever. I just waited for the season to start, and it's what it was. But now, we do these videos, we put this content out here. Like I said, training camp for me, first of all, is really fun. It's really
Uh
fun to
huh.
go to. Second, it's a great opportunity to meet people, collab with people, okay, get other ideas and things like that. And also, it's a great opportunity to get content to bring to the people for the people to see, because not everybody is an hour and a half from Spartanburg. Not everybody is 5 to 10 minutes from uptown like I am. There are people that are across the country. There might be people watching that are out of the country. Even like for Tony, he came the first year, but he couldn't make it last year. But you know what? I was there.
Hmm.
And like I said, I was on Twitter posting videos like crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? And it was a good experience, all around, for the channel, me meeting new people, and it was just fun. I got so many autographs. I met a lot of people. I even got XL to sign my Keep Pounding Man t-shirt. I got it over there in the drawer now still.
That's
And
dope.
like I said, and it's stuff like that. It's cool. You get the fans out there. I seen so many people had their homemade Panthers, like WWE belts, chains,
Hmm.
glasses, hats, like all kind of crap.
Yeah.
And it's like for 2 years, we're not going to be able to be a part of that. And and I think Steven said it earlier, Steven Bell, it's not the end of the world, and it's not. But my thing is this, it's for me personally, it seems like, y'all knew something was, you knew about this beforehand. You didn't come to this conclusion today. Y'all did not have a meeting today, April 23rd, 2025, and in that meeting say, you know what, we're not going to be able to have training camp for the fans, not going to be able to be allowed to training camp. It's not like they went to that meeting today and they just realized that today. That's the
Well,
part for me that sucks.
I'll say this, my brother, and this is a wonderful saying: where there's a drone, there's a way. That's all I want to say.
Where there's a drone, that's a way. Oh, hold on. Who? Oh, that's right. Who flew the drone last year? And that's right. They made the news and everything around Charlotte. They had the damn drone up in the air filming training camp.
Over BOA, yeah, that was our brothers
Yes.
over there at the C3. Yeah, yeah, the
Okay,
C3. Yeah,
boy, I forgot all about. That's right. They made every news channel here in Charlotte.
yeah.
Everybody was
Them
talking
boys
about
made
that.
Pat McAfee, man. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Shout out to C3.
God.
But where there's a drone, there's a way. And I think I got a connection over there at old what's the name of that college right next to the stadium? What's the name?
Um,
Is it
um,
Johnson and Wales?
Johnson and Wales. Yep,
Yeah, I
yep.
think I
I was
think
about
I
to
got
say
a
Johnson C.
connection
Smith,
over
but that's
there.
not right.
I'm gonna try to see if
Mm,
I can finagle something, I'm
okay.
gonna try to see if I can sneak into a little back room or something, Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, look. Doug said he wouldn't dare PPP. He said he respect you way more than that man shy turtle.
Yeah, because he is slow. God dang.
Oh goodness. Yeah, C3 y'all. Yeah, you know what? I remember that now. Yes, they had a whole drone out there filming training camp. I was like, shout out to you fellas. I was like that was bold right there.
Where there's a drone,
That
there's a
was
way.
bold. There was a drone, there's a way. That's crazy. What's going on, Swab? The Smooth Cat said, what's goody, CJ? Panthers family said, what's goody, big bro, PPP.
What's up, Suave? Suave. Yeah.
It said, don't do the drone PPP. We going to blame it on to be fade. LOL. I don't know what that means.
To be fade. Yeah, I know what that means. Boy, you crazy, man. Boy, the Panthers community, boy, y'all some funny characters, man.
Man,
Golly.
hey, let me tell you. That's why I try to make sure I get everybody's comments up here, man. Because let me tell you, they be throwing some good ones at me,
Yeah,
especially
they do, man.
oh God, you Doug Nakari and QJ. Oh my God, if you ever get on here one night and QJ Smith is in the chat, just
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he done. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but yeah, so that is no training camp for fans this year and next year for the Carolina Panthers. Okay, we're all going to have to adjust accordingly. We are going to have to rely on some of the some of our great reporters in the area who cover the Panthers. And we're just gonna have to sit back and and see how this goes. Because now the bad thing is you see all those buildings back there in the background. None of them are close enough to like if you know somebody to work on one of the top floors in one of them buildings, still ain't close enough to get you a good look at that practice field. It's too far away. But yeah. But okay.
Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's the
figure,
will, there's the
I'm gonna
way. I
figure
hear you,
something
Prom.
out. We gonna get that content.
I hear you. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get into the mock draft, and this is going to be my last mock draft of the off season here on the live. And I think Doug called me Cleveland Brown one more time. Let me wait for the comment to pop up here. Cleveland Brown and and Broderick Brown and Broderick Brown. I'm loving the content. Not Broderick Brown or Broderick.
Well, CJ. Well, see, I will say this, my brother. I could tell that the
Mm.
draft season has been weighing heavy on you, my brother. Yeah, you get that lineup real quick. You got that little rug on top of your head there.
Hey, look, let me tell you. I told everybody this last time. I'm like, my hair grow extremely slow, and this is it. And it's curly. It grows slow and it just curls up. But I forgot what I was doing Saturday, and I was just going along, and forgot about me and my son's appointment. And then I had to the barber ended up calling me, and I was like, crap, and I had to reschedule. So I'm gonna get in tomorrow and hopefully get in my son in there for the weekend.
Yeah,
But
my
yeah,
man been doing mock
I
drafts
got you.
24/7, boy. I'm glad it's over, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I love it when I love it when the season is over. We doing mock drafts, man. I let my whole PFF go about 2 weeks ago. I said, man, I'm done with this, man. I'm through.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Now, mind you, I keep saying this. PFF ain't for everybody, but I do appreciate the work that they put into it. It's nice having some kind of a like a like some measurables, for these players besides just the tackles, sacks, whatever yards,
Hmm.
different things and different stuff that you can't compare. So I do like that. I do like that. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You the Panthers Curtis Payne? Wow. Hold on. I remember hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta put you boy, I almost said something. I had to I almost said, oh, you mean Curtis Payne? Damn. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
two
I
two hundred
got
on Suave to go. Get him up out of here. 200 on him. 200.
you. Wow. Wow. Hey, but you know what? Real talk though. And if my brother-in-law is watching this, I'm sorry, Junior. But man, let me tell you, my brother-in-law looks like Curtis Payne. It's funny. I told him that one time. And when I say he looked like he was about to haul off and knock me into next Thursday, I looked at him, I was like, he said, don't do that. I said, oh, okay, brother. I got you. I said, I got you. I said, I ain't gonna say that no more. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey. Keep them coming, y'all. Okay. All right. So next week, CJ will have box braids. Hey, keep them coming, y'all. Keep them coming. Oh my God, I'm over here about tears, man. I said, "Oh, I'm out. Good night." Yo, not the damn box braids. Oh my God.
Oh my, with the
Hey,
shells on the
and I know I keep
tips.
I know I keep going off on tangents, but let me tell you, I graduated high school in 2000, and back then, I was always trying to grow my hair out to get cornrows. Let me tell you, I finally thought I had enough to get it. And it was like I had hair, my hair would grow here, but it was always too short in the back. And I tried to get my cousin's wife to braid my hair one time, and she couldn't catch the hair that I had in the back. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. I was like this. I was like this ain't meant for me to be. You know, I'm one of them. I try something. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, man. I'm somebody trying to tell me something. Somebody trying to tell me this ain't it, cuz. But
Yeah,
yeah.
man. You know, once you get
Hey,
to a certain age, ain't nothing wrong with old season. You know, just low and
hold on.
dark.
Said, where's Auntie Ella? Let me tell you this. My wife is in the chat. Don't you call her Auntie Ella. Let me tell you, she will find your ass. Bruh, she will track you down. Don't she is in the chat, dog. Yeah, he said, what the hell? That's so funny. Oh God, Preston Curl said for CJ, ultra perk for PPP. Oh my goodness. Oh, my head hurts. Oh God. Oh no,
Hey,
hold on. CJ
boy.
got the Law and Order mustache detective thing going on. All right, I'm out.
Hey, just don't use that hot
Oh,
curl iron. You know,
oh my God. I
don't use
wish I
that one
had
that you
the.
put on the stove. Don't do that
Oh, hey,
one.
I wish. Hey, but let me tell you, that's all Grandma and them had back in the day. I used to see them with my sister. And they're like, oh, shut
Yeah,
up. You all right? I'm like,
yeah, about to turn your neck charcoal.
yo, I wish I had there. Yes, there it is. Yes, Nella. I would dun dun. I wish I had that sound effect when you said Law and Order. I wish I had that sound effect right now. Oh God. Oh, Doug said, "Hey Ben Wallace, all you missing is a headband, brother." Thank you, thank you.
I know Doug ain't talking
Oh,
old turtle man. I know he ain't
oh
talking.
God, yo. Let me say,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting roasted tonight, but man, let me tell you, I love it, dog. Let me tell you, hey, if y'all know me, is I can talk shit all day long. So this is the get back I'm getting from constantly talking shit to people. So yeah, I'm all for it. This is making me laugh too. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
Dougie, I
right,
said it. I said it, Dougie. Turtle man. What you gonna do about it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
What you
Hey,
gonna do?
look. All right, now let me tell you. Now, Doug ain't no little dude now. PvP.
Yeah, I know. I know. First thing you see is them shoulders. Yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry, Doug. I walked you right into that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Brother like
Oh,
yeah,
Bishop.
his front look like a back. Yeah.
Hey, the Bishop sap. Don't start now.
All right, Dougie.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh
Look like a
yo.
German mannequin. Yeah.
Said Doug not early enough for the Turtle Club. Said Mr. Wild Wild West CJ. All you need is Xavier to get Cowboy. You know what? And it's funny because my dad, I'm allergic to horses. I can't get on a horse without I start sneezing, sniffling. Eyes start watering and everything. and I think that was heartbreaking for my dad because my dad rode horses all the time, and but I never could get on one. But I ain't gonna lie, I told my wife this a few weeks ago. I said I am going to go out and find me a cowboy hat. I said y'all gonna see me on one of these lives sitting here with a cowboy hat at one point. Y'all gonna be like, what is this? Nothing. I just felt like doing it. So now
Hey,
mind you, if I can find one to fit this gigantic head of mine, it'll be a miracle. But
hey, CJ, you ever been to the airport and you go through those things that they gotta scan you? You know those big old things they gotta scan you. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's Dougie shoulders. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, infrared scanner
Oh god.
shoulders. That's what he got. Yeah,
He said for Redskins
PSA
shoulders.
shoulders. Yeah. All right. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let
Yeah,
me
you
stop.
good. You good, man. All right, let's go ahead and let's go ahead to the mock draft. And you know what? Okay, and I'm gonna switch it up, Prime. All right. Now I got you on here tonight.
Okay.
Um, I'm going to click and select the stuff. You tell me who you want for your final Panthers mock draft since you
Okay.
my guest tonight.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, um, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's trade back. Um, let's go
All right.
back to. Let's go back to 18. Let's go to Seattle.
Let's go to Seattle. Okay.
Let's go to Seattle.
All right.
Let's see if we can still get my guy at 18.
All right. So 18 for 8. And what you
Yep.
trying to get anything else with it?
Oh yeah, give me that 50.
Okay.
Give me that
All right.
52.
All right. Oh, so
Oh,
let's
they ain't
see.
gonna
Now
give it
that
to
dropped
me.
all the way down to 32.
Yeah,
All right,
take
you
the
want to take
52
52 off?
off.
Okay.
Yep. Give me that 80. 80 something.
82.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
That
Send
says,
it.
all right. All
Boom.
right. Trade has been accepted. All right.
Let's
So
go.
we're going to go ahead and start the draft. Okay. So quick recap. Go back up now at pick 8. Michael Williams was the pick. And Mason Graham was still on the board. Okay. So
Jalen
he was still
Walker
on the board. He went
went.
number 11. Um, Yeah, it looked like
Jalen
Jalen Walker did
went to the
not. Oh,
Saints.
see to the Saints. Okay, gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. Yep.
Okay. That's cool. Mike Greeny.
Mhm. All right, that's your pick here, Mike Green.
Mike Green. Let's take him.
All right, cool beans,
Mm-hmm.
cool beans.
Cool with that.
All right, now we're at number 50. What you want, PPP?
Oh man. I'm I'm gonna go Kevin Winslow.
All right, Kev. Kev, you mean Winston?
No, Winslow. I'm gonna go Kevin Winslow. That's how Unc
Hold on,
said.
it. Oh, okay. So you talking about Kevin Winston, but he
Yeah, I'm
calls
talking
him
about Kevin
Winslow.
Winslow. Yeah,
Oh, I was sitting there thinking to myself like, hold on, is there a Winslow? Okay, I got you. All right, Kevin.
all right.
All
Let's
right, 57.
yeah, 57. Let's go let me see. Let's go linebacker possibly. Let's see who's their linebacker.
All right.
Demetrius Knight, Chris Paul. Nah, I'm good. Let's go back to best player available.
Mm-hmm.
Norman Lott. Scroll down for me. Let's see. Jalen Royals there. We at
Mm-hmm.
57.
Yeah, 57.
Give me Jalen.
Okay.
Give me Jalen.
All right.
All right.
74.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Doug said take a safety. All
Give me Darian Porter.
right. Darian Porter.
Uh
All
huh.
right. Now we got 82. So we got the 82nd pick from Seattle.
Shoot, Demetrius Knight. No, yeah. Demetrius Knight makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Makes sense
Demetrius
to
Knight.
me.
Okay. Pick 111.
All right. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get. Let me get. Yeah, let me go ahead. Well, let me see who the other edges are. Let's go to edge.
All right.
Oh, yeah, 111, 121. I got the 114. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
man, I may get
Hold on.
dinged
Let
for
me show you.
this.
We got 111, 114, and then next is 140.
So I got who did I get so far? I got a wide receiver. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mike Green, Demetrius Knight, Darian Porter, Jalen Rose, and Kevin Winslow.
Real quick, let me see tight end real quick.
All right.
Let me see if Harold Fanning is still on the board.
No, he is gone.
He
Let me see, where
gone.
did he go? He went what,
I
seven
just missed
picks
him.
to the Brown. Yep, to the
God, I
Browns.
just missed him. Okay. All right, let's go edge.
All right.
Yeah, give me E Roberts.
Okay. All right, 114.
Shoot. Give me is David Walker still there? At
David
edge?
Walker. All right, hold on. Yep, he's still
Yeah,
there.
yeah, give me David Walker. Edge is
All right.
taken care of.
Okay.
All right. Oh man. Let's go to let's go to tight end now.
All right.
Hmm, I'm good on tight end. Let's go defensive interior.
All right.
It's a little too
Oh,
early for
Dad.
two.
Yo, look, they got that man whole face up here. I ain't seen that before. I haven't seen that one before. Marcus Harris from Auburn. That is funny.
Uh, okay, cool. Let me see. Hmm, let me go cornerback. Let me see that real quick. I already got a safety.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm a little early for Huzzy and
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Riley. I'll swing back on them. Okay, let's go back to BPA. I'm sorry.
Now you good?
That's BPA right there. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Tez.
All right. Tez Johnson, 146.
Okay, scroll down. Ooh. God, I should have waited for Ty Felton.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Let me see here. Shoot, give me Jack Kaiser.
Okay. 163.
Now let's go defensive interior.
All right.
All right. Scroll down just a little bit. Where's Cam Jackson at?
Cam Jackson is gone.
He gone. If he's gone, give me Dion Walker.
Okay.
And let's see. Efton Chisholm the third may be gone too. But I already got two wide receivers, so I ain't worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Scroll down. Shoot, bump it. Go back to defensive interior.
All right.
Mm-mm. Shoot. Ty Robinson's gone too. I could have
Mm-hmm.
picked him up. All right, go back BPA. I'm sorry, man.
You good, man?
Okay. Okay. All right, scroll down.
Nah, Doug, not a running back yet.
No, I don't think we need a running back. Ooh, he
Oh
right
shit, there
there.
you go.
Man, get
Okay.
my dude,
You
man.
want?
I'm sorry, yo. I'm sorry. Man, get my guy, man.
I hear you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ooh, earned 3 awards, Prime.
hello, knock knock.
Hey. Oh shit. Top 11% of
Hello.
Panthers drafts. Okay. I hear you. All right. So to recap, we traded with Seattle, sent the number 8 pick to them, and we got pick 18, pick 50 in round 2, and pick 83 in round 3. We got Mike Green, Kevin Winston Jr., Jalen Royals, Darian Porter, Demetrius Knight Jr., Elijah Roberts, and David Walker, excuse me, Tez Johnson, Jack Kaiser, Deion Walker, and Efton Chisholm the third. I'm sorry, the
You got to say
third.
Efton Chisholm the dad. You
Efton
got to say
Chisholm the third.
yeah. Yes,
All
sir.
right, bet.
Poppin
Okay.
said
Well, you
no. This is
know,
a horrible draft. Okay.
no.
Uh,
I think he was answering Doug. Doug asked did he
oh,
get
okay.
a running back.
My
He was
bad. You
saying
know,
no.
me and Pop
Yeah.
got a love hate relationship sometimes. You know.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Well, shoot, you know what? I was gonna do one too, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it on a high note, Prime. I swear, I'm gonna leave it on that top 11%. You know, because I wouldn't have too many issues with this draft because I mean, hell, you got three edges. Now mind you, one thing I probably would have picked up a defensive interior lineman a little earlier.
a little earlier.
Yeah, I picked him up a little earlier. Um, yeah. Now, mind you, I probably wouldn't have got three wide receivers, but I ain't upset at all. But we got a safety, we got two edge rushers, cornerback. Okay. Because now my thing is with cornerback is we got JC Horn, we got Mike Jackson. Okay. But will better safety help, will better safety help on the back end and a better pass rush and a better ability to stop the run be able to help Mike Jack out on the outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Um Said we will not have that many picks popping perm products. What? Uh
Talk about
uh
PPP popping perm product. It's cool.
oh shit.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I caught it.
I'm
I
sorry.
caught
I'm
it.
sorry, Prime. I gotta remember that one, dog.
It's cool. I'm gonna just call it revolving door. Yeah, you know when you go into
Wow.
the hotels. Yeah, broad shoulders. Yeah.
Well, yo, is come on, see it just to let. Okay, all right. I'll do one. I got you. I
Why
got
we
you.
can't leave
Okay.
on a high note, popping? You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't like him.
Well, you still it's still on the high note. That was a damn good draft, Prime. That was a damn good draft, dog. Okay, let's go ahead and enter. All right, let me try this thing out. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll down here and look in the second, and you know what? Let me try this. Okay, let me try this. Let me go to
We gotta
Chicago
get Efton
Bears. So
Chisholm, man.
they got our pick right.
Uh huh.
So let me see if we can swap 8 for 10, and so we can't. They won't take
Give him
39.
57. Boom.
Give up 57. Okay, now I wonder. If I take off 57. All right, what if I do 41? That's still not going to. Okay. Well, you know what? 39, 57. So we still have 9 picks, and yeah. Okay. So we'll drop back 2 spots, but we will also jump up 18 spots in the second round. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Okay. So you know what? And I kept doing this earlier. I kept hitting start draft
Oh
instead of
yeah,
offer
yeah.
trade.
I know, right?
Because I usually wait until we get to the eighth pick to offer a trade, and
Yeah.
I did this so many times early. I was so pissed at myself. All
Mm-hmm.
right, cool. Start the draft. All right. All right.
Ooh.
So Cam Ward went number one. Travis Hunter, Shador, Ashton Genty, Ted, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter. Oh, they took Abdul Carter number
Ooh.
8. Tyler Warren went to he went to the Saints.
Good.
Tyler Warren went
Good.
to the Saints. Okay, all right. Let me see. And what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm going to do what I said, and I did another draft. Okay, like I said, defensive interior for me is not a bad pick. Walter Nolan here. Now I got Mike Green there. It's very tempting, but I'm gonna go Walter
Oh,
Nolan here.
okay, let me ask you this
Oh.
question. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on Kenneth Grant, real quick?
Now, okay, let me tell you. If they pulled the trigger and picked Kenneth Grant at number 8, you wouldn't have no complaints out of me
None.
whatsoever.
None.
None. None. If they
Okay,
ran to that
okay.
podium and Kenneth Grant was the pick at number 8, you would have no complaints here at me. Not
Facts, bro.
none. Not
Facts.
any at all. At
Yeah,
all.
man.
Yep. Okay. Now, let me see what I'm going to
Ooh.
do here. So we got 39, and we got a lot to work with here. We got
Ooh. You
Higgins,
got Beck.
Jackson. Mm-hmm. All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Let me see. Now, what do I want? Now, we need a safety.
We
Okay.
do.
We need a safety. All right. Now I'm gonna, and I take Andrew Makuba a lot too. But what I'm
Yeah.
going to do here, instead of Kevin Winston, I'm gonna pick Xavier Watts from Notre
Okay.
Dame.
That's
All
still a
right,
good one.
just to be slightly different from you, Prime. Just to be slightly
Yeah.
different. Okay. All right. So
Oh wow.
we have an interior defense line. We have a safety. So I'm going to see what's popping over at the edge spot.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Look at
Yeah,
that.
and the thing is with Josiah Stewart. Now, if you look at his numbers, okay, look at his pass rush grade, his true pass set rush grade. Excuse me. He even has a decent run defense grade, 83.7. So the thing on him is that he's juiced up. He's a juiced up pass rusher with less than ideal measurables. His effort and leverage give him a chance to win any rep, but he lacks pass rush nuance to win more than those attributes and a good first step. His best spot in the NFL might be as an off-ball Sam linebacker, where he can be used as a blitzer more than just a straight edge rusher. Think Uchenna Nwasu. Okay. But I think this is an intriguing pick here. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to try and get us some edge rushers. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Josiah Stewart right here at 74.
Okay.
All right. Now we get down to 111. Okay. Again, like I said,
Mm.
your man Harold Fannin is there.
Oh
He's
my
there. But
gosh, yo.
yeah, yeah. Look, he did. He did. But okay, so we got Walter Nolan, Xavier Watts, Josiah Stewart. I am going to go back to go look and see what we had at cornerback.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Um
Your draft is lining up perfectly for you, man.
yeah, but you know what though? When I get to the end of the thing, PFF gonna be like, nah, dog, we don't like your shit. That's what they gonna tell me. Yeah, they gonna be like, nah, dog, we don't like yours. Okay, so you got Kobe Bryant, Mello Dotson. Let me see here. You know
Oh,
what?
Quincy Riley right there too. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I'm gonna go back to edge and see what we got at
Oh my gosh. Look
edge.
at this.
You know what? David Walker is there, so we got pick 111. We got Tyler Batty.
DW.
Uh, yeah. Okay. You know what? Let me see here. Let me go back to best available. Harold Finn, Neal. Hmm. Then
Oh
Jonas
wow.
Sanker, but we
Jonas
already got
Saker. We got
Xavier
ties with
Watt.
him.
Yeah. I I've picked him a lot around 111 and 114 in a lot of my
Uh-huh.
mock drafts. Okay. But
Yeah.
let me say, I'm gonna go back to edge here real quick. I'm gonna get Batty from Beta, however you say it, from BYU. Cause like I said, I
Oh
want to
my
double up on edge.
gosh.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Prime? Just for you. Just for you.
I'm about to say I
Just for you.
can't take
Just for
it, man.
you. Just for you. Just for you. Okay. Now let's see what we got. Let's see what we got over at the wide receiver spot.
Ooh, I like Dante
And let me
Trader too, bro. He's pretty good too. He's a project guy, but he's good
Dante who?
too. Dante Thornton. I'm sorry, I said Trader.
Hold
Dante
on, Dante.
Thornton.
Oh, Thornton. Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
about to say, hold on, I don't see that name nowhere.
my
Okay.
bad.
But no, you good. You good. All right, so we've got everything. I'm gonna go back to cornerback and see what we got here. So we might have some time. We
Wow.
can still get Zy Alexander. You got Elijah Huzzy out of Carolina. Go Tar Heels. Quincy Riley, who did have a visit with the Panthers. And another name, Odell Fortune. Now, mind you, his run defense grade is trash, but that's another name you should probably keep an eye on later on in this draft. Because not a lot of people talk about him, but he's got some good measurables here. Said he's intrigued. Is 6'1", 185. Said Fortune has intriguing length, but lacks the top tier explosiveness for press man responsibilities. But what does Everett run? He runs a god awful amount that damn cover three.
Oh man,
He
and he from
yeah.
he from Sumter. Oh yeah, you know he eat a raccoon. They
Yeah,
go they gonna
okay.
need pest control at Bank of America Stadium with all of it. God.
Yo, he's stupid, Prime. He's stupid. Okay. Now I'm messed up here. All right, so I'm gonna get a wide receiver. I'm gonna take Tez Johnson
Yes,
here.
sir.
Okay.
Tez.
All right, now I'm gonna go back
Oh
down to
wow, Barrett
cornerback
Carter
and
right there.
see.
Wow.
You said Barrett Carter.
Yeah,
Oh, you know,
linebacker from
I ain't gonna
Clemson.
lie though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of scared to take a Clemson player. You know,
You are.
we ain't never drafted one. But we ain't never drafted no darn Clemson player. Like not a one. But you know what? You know what? Hell with it. Let's go ahead and
Let's
get Barrett
go.
Carter.
Let's go.
All right. And you know what? And let me see. One thing I haven't got. Well, I got one defensive interior lineman. Let's go see who is available here. You got Tim Smith, defensive interior out of defensive lineman out of
I wonder if
Alabama.
Mr. Laydown is
Okay.
still there.
Which one?
Cam Jackson, Mr. Laydown.
Nah, he gone. He
He
is gone.
gone.
He is gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
Well,
gone.
let me recap. So we got our defensive interior lineman, Walter Nolan. We got a safety. We got two edges, tight end, cornerback. That's where I need to go. I need to go cornerback.
Cornerback.
All right.
Oh
So we do
wow.
have Robert Longerbeam, and that's the name I haven't really paid much attention to. What's that? Bilal Cone from Central Michigan. That's another name I haven't paid much attention to as well. But what I want to do here, you know, I'm gonna take a chance here, and I know PFF is going to ding me for this one, but I'm gonna go with fortune here. Okay. Now I know Quincy Riley had a visit. You got Elijah Huzzy. Like I said, go Tar Heels. And one thing I haven't done in a while, I haven't picked a kicker, which I probably won't here. Let me go back and see who's available, best available. Um, let me go and look at the tackles. Because now
Oh
mind you, we
yeah.
pick a tackle in the seventh round. And I say this, and I and you know what? And Doug says running back is a need. I disagree. I don't think it's a need that we have to pick up in the 7 rounds of the draft. I think that if they want to bring in a couple prospects from the undrafted free agents side of the field or side of the equation, I think that's probably where they go. But we have a backfield of Chuba Hubbard. You got Rico Dowdle and Raheem Blackshear.
And guess
Okay.
who else we got? The guy from TCU. Um, golly, what is his name? Oh my
Don't
goodness. He's
don't
on
get me
track.
the line. I
He's
I, I
on
know
practice squad, bro. He's
I
real
know who you're
good.
talking about, but I can't think of his name. But yeah, but
Yeah,
I do think they'll probably go that route. But just say, for the hell of it, we pick up a tackle here, and we'll go with my man here, the best on the board as far as tackle. We'll go with Holland Pierce from Rutgers. Okay. Yeah. But like I said, Prom, let me tell you, PFF is not, is not going to like me as much as they like yours. Yeah, because see, I'm in the bottom 27. Okay. But so to recap mine, all right, we traded with the Bears. We gave up the eighth pick and 57th pick. We picked up the 10th and the 39th pick. All right, which would have been our original pick in this draft. Okay, if we'd have kept our second rounder.
good draft,
But
man.
I got Walter Nolan, Xavier Watts, because we are as thin as thin as saltine crackers
Uh,
at the safety spot. All right.
yeah,
Josiah Stewart, Tyler Batty. Now, mind you, that might not be my ideal combination, at edge rusher. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I'm always a fan of them doubling up on the edge rusher position, because what was one thing that we couldn't do much of it all last year? Get pressure on the quarterback
absolutely.
consistently. Okay, we couldn't stop the run, and we couldn't hurry any quarterback into making any kind of bad decisions on a consistent basis. Okay.
Hmm.
For hold on, what is it? I don't forgot it already. For a Pop and Perm Products, I got Harold Fanning Jr. out of tight end out of Bowling Green. Took Tez Johnson, the wide receiver out of Oregon. Barrett Carr, the linebacker out of Clemson. Maybe this year we do draft a Clemson player. It hasn't happened, but we'll see. I got O'Donnell Fortune, the cornerback from South Carolina, and tackle Holland Pierce, the center. I'm sorry. In tackle Holland Pierce, I saw the C grade and I said center, but Holland Pierce, the tackle out of Rutgers. All right.
Well, I know
So
you said we was thin. Where you say we was thin at again?
safety.
Safety. You said it was as thin as some saltine crackers.
I
Mm-hmm.
would say we as thin as a white T-shirt going on Dougie's shoulders. That stretch. That's pretty thin there.
Oh God, yo. Oh my God. Oh God. Cash Dylan Johnson. I don't think he's on the team anymore, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't think they brought him back. Yeah. Oh, Doug said he was injured and may be cut. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. All right, man. Yo, let me tell you, when I say I appreciate all the laughs, all the jokes. I'm sitting here, my eyes are red because I'm like my head is hurting. So we've been laughing so much, man. Thank you, Prime, for coming up here with me tonight. I appreciate you. We talked about still staying at number 8 or trading back to pick up some more picks. We talked about a couple of trade scenarios that I threw out there, one mock draft that I did earlier today. We also talked about the Panthers not allowing the fans to make it to training camp this year or next year. Or next year. Hold on. Doug said, can you please go back up? I have a comment for PPP, please. Hold on.
All right, Dougie.
Oh,
I got one
tell,
more left in the chamber now. Go
tell,
ahead.
tell Dr. Carver from the Proud family to make sure he got his peanut minions on deck. Wow.
Hey,
Wow. I ain't gonna
y'all.
lie. I never watched the Proud family.
Hey, y'all. Make sure y'all stay away from Dougie when he sneezes. He's liable to start a nosebleed with his shoulders going up to his head.
Oh my God. Yo. What's going on, Miss Hunky Dorsey? Just stepped in the door, restart the show. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Mr. Hunky
Yo, he
Dory. So.
said, Suave said we thin in Shy Smith's career. Wow. Oh my
Don't do.
God.
I like Shy
Wow.
Smith, man. Don't do him
Wow.
like
I like
that.
Shy Smith too. I like
Yeah,
Shy Smith too.
he was a
But
beast in that last
but
in that Buccaneers game, 2022.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast in that game. Yeah, yeah. Dougie started a
Yo.
nosebleed. He sneezed too hard. Yeah.
Hold on. Does look like a Black Felix from the Proud Family. I can't lie. I don't know who that is. I never watched the Proud Family. I swear I didn't. Oh my God. Yo. But again, man, hey, we talked about the fans not being allowed to attend training camp this year. And we Prime did his mock draft. I did my final mock draft. I'll probably throw up some more tomorrow on X, throughout the day. Now I am going to be going. Oh, well, before I say this, Prime, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you before we get out of here.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for allowing me to come onto your platform, man, and have this discussion
Oh
with you.
yeah,
Guys, my name is Demetrius. I
anytime.
am the proprietor, like Shannon Sharp says, of Panthers Prime. Of
Lakers in
Pan-
5.
of Panthers Prime Podcast. You can find me everywhere. Social media allows you to go on. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube, Panthers Prime Podcast.
Okay. Hey, look, now I'm Derek Brown's uncle.
God dang. Cedric Brown.
Yo. Oh God. Oh my goodness. Yo. Hold on, wait a minute. He got another. Dcash said Felix is La Siniaga's pops. La Siniaga. Was that the little short girl that was with God, what was his name? Penny Proud. I do remember her and the little short girl that was always with him.
hmm
Um said who gonna be live tomorrow night? Prime, you gonna be live tomorrow night?
Yes, sir. I have a live show
Okay.
starting tomorrow at 7:30, and if it's okay with you, we are
Go
doing a
ahead.
giveaway tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
would love for you guys to come on out and partake in the giveaway and enjoy the live. We're gonna cover the whole entire first round tomorrow. So come to PPP 7:30. Don't be late.
Got you, Prime. Got you. And Miss Uncle, I will be live as well. I haven't nailed down a time just yet. See that you look like the ECU logo, LOL Uncle Slick Rick.
I know Suave ain't
Oh my
talking.
God,
He
yo,
put
let me
butter in his
say.
water. I know he ain't talking.
Talk about say could have swore I seen me at the clumps dinner table. Damn.
God
Hey,
dang.
look, hey, I'm telling you, hey, I feel that way sometimes. I swear I do.
It's all right, man. It's
But yeah,
summertime, man.
man.
We about to get these bodies right, man. What they talking about?
Yeah, they look. I hope so. I hope so. But
Yeah.
now I am going live tomorrow night. My plan was to go live tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. But unfortunately, I've had a death in the family,
Oh
and
no.
me and Tony, our uncle passed on Saturday. And and I wanted to, say a little bit about my uncle. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna try to get my face back on the screen, but I can't lie. This is my uncle, y'all. Kenneth Ray Bryant Sr. We call him Uncle Kenny. His nickname, he had a lot of nicknames. We call him Snake, all kind of stuff. But he passed on Sunday,
Mm.
and I've had a tough time this week because the Tuesday before I went home to see my sister and my folks and take my sister out for her birthday, I called one of my other uncles and he said he had to call me back. And then I was like, well, you know what? Let me call Uncle Kenny and see how he doing. So I called, he picked up, talked to him. And, my dad has dementia and he's suffering from that. And, I got another aunt who has it. And I got another uncle who's, sick and is having his own issues. And, we got to talking and I told him, I was like, okay, so, I said, well, I'm gonna bring the kids to see you. I said, you're gonna be surprised how big James has gotten. That's my son, one of my twins. And I was gonna take Layla, wife, and we were gonna go down there to see him. And lo and behold, um, he ended up in the hospital about 2 days after I told him that. And I got to see him, but it wasn't like I wanted to. I took my dad, we went to the hospital, and we saw him in the ICU. And, he wasn't doing too good then. And he passed probably, a little over a week later, on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me about this one is, I've never said, okay, well, I'm gonna make sure I go see this person. And I got down there and something happened to him. And I would have bet anybody my entire salary that if they would say, well, this is the last conversation you're gonna ever have with your uncle, I'd have been like, hell no, you wrong. There's no way in hell. Because this one I say was so unexpected. And, me and my uncle weren't really close, and not in a bad way. It's just the fact that, I would say this and my wife is going to get me because she tell me not to beat myself up about it. But as far as seeing my family, not all my family, but, making sure I visit, a lot of my family, I've been a terrible nephew. I've been a terrible cousin. And not any on purpose, not any way like that. It's just, I go home, I go see my folks, and sometimes we there for a day, and I shoot back up. And the thing that got me with this one is I gotta go past the road to get to his house to get to the next town where I grew up at. All right. I got to drive back by that road to come back to Charlotte, you know. And I said this and I was just like, I waited one trip too long to call him and tell him, like, hey, I'm coming to see you. I'm going to check on you, but my uncle he was a good dude. He's a great father. To my cousins, Kenny Jr., Jaquise, Devontae, I love y'all. Praying for y'all. I will see y'all this weekend. But yeah, if I can say one thing to all of y'all out there, um, do better than me. Okay. I'm going to try and do better myself, but do better than me. Check on your folks, check on your people. Even if it's just a phone call, cause I was bad at, I'm bad at that too. And I'm going to get better. I'm going to make sure I get better than that. But check on your people, call your people, make sure they know you okay. Make sure you know that they're okay. But yeah, if I can tell y'all anything to leave out tonight, just make sure make sure your folks are good. Okay, make sure your folks are good. Make sure your people are good, because I don't want, and I know, you never know the day, the time, the hour when the good Lord will call you home. Okay, and like I said, it hit me kind of hard because when I say I've been crying all week. I got to work the other day and broke down in my work truck. I was outside for half an hour trying to get myself together. I thought I would have been crying by now saying this, but I've practiced it enough today, I think I'm gonna be able to get through it. But yeah, I don't want this to happen, for anybody else out there. And like I said, I love my uncle. If I could see him right now, he'd probably be telling me, he'd be like, boy, man up, stop, just stop this. You all right. He'd be like, man up, boy, I'm good. But I love my uncle. Y'all that know the word of prayer, pray for my family. We gonna be all right, but there's a lot of people that's gonna miss him. A lot of people in our community back home. He was the baby of 10 kids, and he was that uncle that was always he was in sync with our generation a lot more than the rest of his brothers and sisters. I put it like that. He was always the cool uncle, and I'm going to miss him. And like I said, it sucks that it happened this way, but I can say this for sure: if I'm gonna take anything out of this, I'm going to do better, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to talk to him one more time. Okay, I didn't get to see him the way that I wanted to see him, but I got a chance to talk to him one more time. Okay, and I will be forever grateful for that. All right. So as I leave y'all tonight, I'm going to leave y'all with 4 things. All right. The first 3 are the usual. Okay. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. And keep pounding, man. All right. And number 4, you never know the day, the hour, or the time. Death is always around the corner. I'm going to get better, and I want to make sure that everybody out there knows, check on your people. I love y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all, and holla at your boy. I'm gonna be all right. It's hitting me now, and I'm glad it's hitting me now instead of 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I love all y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me, and holla at your boy, and tell my cousin I said hey, man, and I'll see you again one day. All right, y'all be good, man.
You can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man.